proud to wear purple and white.
Because Tigers strive for greatness.
In the classroom and on the field.
We know that we can do anything, be anything,
achieve anything.
We're part of a program that is 100% dedicated to nourishing our minds and our bodies.
As teammates, we push each other further than we ever thought we could go.
Because every single one of us has something to contribute.
We practice hard so that when we compete, we can leave it all out on the field.
With each win, we build confidence.
With each loss is a lesson.
Our coaches teach us more than technique.
They prepare us to be good teammates,
friends, and people.
We face adversity together
and push through to reach our goals.
We may struggle,
but we will never give up.
Because today,
tomorrow, forever.
We're Darlington Tigers.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
My name is Ryan Somerville. I am the sales manager for Business Water Solutions. We do water purification coolers as well as ice machines for any size business. We're on campus right now at Darlington School. Super happy to be here. They're one of our biggest customers. I myself played sports here. Our two founders played sports here. It was absolutely our pleasure to be a sponsor for Darlington Athletics. I think one thing that really sets us apart is our water purification. There's 13 stages. The reverse osmosis part of it has been a huge part of our success, along with our 24-hour guarantee for service calls. So when a customer does call us, we're then guaranteed within 24 hours. We were able to provide a touchless water system to make it more COVID-friendly in terms of germs and touching the water system. One thing I always say is we're not selling a product, we're selling our service. That's what we really push for every single day, is to have a customer service experience like they've never had before.
It's time for the Coach Groves Show, where we sit down with the head coach of the Darlington Tigers football team and talk about all things Darlington School football. Now we go live to Matt Davis and Ian Griffin, who are standing by with Coach Wayne Groves.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Coach Groves Show, where we talk all things Darlington football with the head Tiger himself, Wayne Groves. Whether you're joining us on the WLAQ YouTube channel or our Facebook Live feed, we're glad to have you with us. And Matt, we're coming off a big win for the Tigers last week against Dade County. What a game. It offered just about everything you could ask for.
Absolutely, man. It was super exciting. Of course, the Tigers get their first region win of the year in the first region game. So that's the first, most important thing to point out about the game. But 28-22 was the final score. Coach, it was back and forth, just a gritty win for your team. How'd it feel to walk off the field that night with a win with your team?
Well, the only way to take charge of the region is to go 1-0 in the first region game, and that's one of the things we preach to the kids. We can take charge of this region. We can eliminate opponent from a tiebreaker situation, and so the kids really played hard and came out and did what we needed to do to win the ball game.
Absolutely. And so as far as the resolve and the resilience that your team showed throughout the course of that game, of course, you've been in some close games throughout the season, came away with the win there. So what can you say about the performance from your guys and how they were able to hang in there and make plays they needed to play to come out with the win?
Well, it's just, it's kind of our demeanor of how we coach and how we talk to the team all the time, the things we emphasize. We never want to back down. We never want to surrender. We just want to keep coming after them. We tell them every week, they're a good football team. They're going to make some good plays. We're a good football team. We're going to make some good plays. But no matter what happens, just keep playing the next play and just keep coming after them, keep coming after them, and keep coming after them. And we do that. If we'll do it for 48 minutes, I said, we'll win the ball game. And so that's what our kids did. They just kept coming after them, kept coming after them. Score went back and forth, and then we ended up making some big plays there at the end and sealing it for us.
Yeah, Coach, 2 weeks ago against Northwest Whitfield, there were a lot of swings and momentum, but I felt like last week it was just back and forth. So how do you handle the ebbs and flows of the game and keep your guys focused with all those momentum swings?
Well, again, it's just that mentality of next play. Don't do anything when the bullets start flying and those games get crazy like that. Just refer back to what you've been taught at practice. Refer back to what you've been taught in individual drills and your fundamentals, and those things will take over and help us win the ball game. And so that's what our kids did.
And Coach, I'll adjust that question a little bit and directed it towards the coaches, because I know when Ian and I are calling the games, we're in our 40s and we're getting, caught up in the moment and enjoying it, and the adrenaline starts pumping and all that kind of stuff, and you get a rush from those moments in those games. So how do you guys kind of keep yourself on an even keel so that you can keep the kids that way? Because I imagine it's exciting for you too.
Yeah, well, that is difficult. I'm a passionate, kind of emotional guy, and then when I coach with a lot of energy and excitement, and so sometimes it gets the best of you. But as soon as I feel myself kind of getting over one play and kind of getting a little mad about it, I got to refocus myself and focus on the next one myself. So a lot of times I got to remind myself those same things that I preach to the kids.
Now, Coach, I asked you after the game because it surprised me and Matt to see them come out in the second half and run that. I know the wishbone exclusively, and we know how in-depth you scout each team. How did you adjust defensively? I know you don't have the opportunity to pull your kids off the field because they're playing both ways. So how did you make the adjustment in the second half to defend that?
Well, we just had to do a couple little wrinkles that we already had in our system. It would be a benefit to have the kids come off the sideline, have enough depth to have the full defense on the sideline to be able to go through those plays underneath the tent and then make adjustments that maybe we weren't a part of the game plan because the game plan unfolded a different way than we thought. We had practiced the wishbone stuff. Just something that they had did, but maybe just 2 or 3 times a ball game in short yardage and goal line situations. So we had a plan for it, but they were doing something a little bit different. They kind of added a little bit to their little wishbone package that we hadn't seen on film. So, being able to, just change it up. We did a little couple cover zero blitzes and tried to attack it, and then we still stayed in our 50 front and played cover 2 behind it to stay solid inside on those runs. But, it gave us a little bit of a problem there.
And you also talked last week about you were proud of how the special teams performed against the Bruins 2 weeks ago. But, Talon Showery breaking one at a key moment, and then you had a young kicker step up and make some plays for you as well. So talk about those guys.
Yeah, every week, we tell the kids we thought we had an advantage on special teams in the ball game. And so, we worked those things that we thought we'd take advantage of all week long. And, the kids stepped up and, we had a lot of great blocks on Talon's on kickoff return, a lot of phenomenal on the PAT blocks and field goal blocks. We got through and got 2 of those and disrupted their stuff. And so all those things right there. And then, the kickoffs, Ade placed some kickoffs in some good spots and then had the drive kick right there at the end that bounced back and we were able to get. So, again, it's 3 phases. And I tell the kids, we want the opponent to have to play all 3 phases: offense, defense, special teams. Never give them a break and just kind of, I told the kids before the game, I said, don't give them a break. All 3 phases, I said, just choke them out slowly. And it may take 4 quarters, and it ended up taking 4 quarters.
Matt was talking about some of the things we experienced up in the booth. Well, we noticed they were kicking it short, high and short, to keep it away from your playmakers that you have in the back like Talon, and you snuck him up on that return, and we were listening to the coach scream, "Don't kick it to one! Don't kick it to one!" And I was like, I wonder if they will kick it to one. They sure did. So it was that was pretty cool to see. Did you? Obviously, it was intentional that you snuck him up there so he could get his hands on the ball.
Yeah, we've got 2. Obviously, if they're trying to kick the ball out of bounds and try to avoid us getting the ball in our playmakers' hands, well, I'm not going to let them get away with that. Yeah. You're going to have to kick it onto the field and have to cover and tackle. And so, we just kept making them kick it again. And then, of course, we've had 2 big returns. Miles Twyman had a big return down to the 10-yard line earlier in the ball game, which was huge as well. We had a lot of great blocks up front on that too. So, again, we're going to make them play all 3 phases.
Coach, speaking of Talon Shire, we've mentioned him several times already, but again, he was our Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game. Mentioned the big kick return for a touchdown, also had an 18-yard touchdown reception for the final go-ahead score. You guys win again 28-22. So I know it's probably going to be kind of a broken record, us asking this question, because we ask it pretty often because he contributes to the success of the Tigers every single week. But what can you say about his performance? I know you've kind of talked about it already, but as far as the award goes this week.
Well, Talon's playing at a really high level, and he's doing a great job at practice. He practices really well. He's a leader. He's a motivator with the other guys. And so, and I told the coaches and I told the players, I said, we're giving out black shirts. I said, if I could give this cat a black helmet, black shoes, black pants, I'd give it all to him because the way he's played the last 3 weeks. And so, I expect Talon to keep on being a great leader and keep on performing at a high level.
And it seems like I saw on Twitter that he was playing some baseball or something like that later on in the weekend. Did I see that?
Yeah, he does play some baseball on Saturdays.
I got you.
So, yeah, he's a great baseball player. He's a hitter from both sides of the plate. Obviously, he's super fast, and they love his 60 time. And then I think last year he hit about 500, if not over 500 last year on the varsity baseball season.
Very cool, man. Well, let's see. We've talked about the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game, Talon Shire. Let's move into the Black Shirt Awards for this week, Coach.
Okay, well, black shirts. We'll start with the defensive black shirt. And so, you saw Talon, make plays on special teams. You saw him score touchdowns, catching the ball. But probably what a lot of people didn't notice is he played 60 snaps on defense at corner, and ended up having 10 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. And so, just playing his tail off over there. And so a lot of those power plays with that, against the wishbone, that thing's bouncing out. He's coming off the edge and fitting and playing good cover 2 corner. And so, we gave Talon the black shirt on defense for his efforts there too. So, Talon was the defensive black shirt. On offense, we got Jack Chandler back as our center that he's been out for a couple of weeks. And for him to come back in and play, 60 snaps on offense and play really well, Jack Chandler got the black shirt for offense. So it's good to have him back and part of the mix. He's one of our captains, and he's been a senior starter, all-region player. So that was huge. So Jack Chandler got that. Special teams, Ade DeSalis again, the sophomore kicker, played some great kickoffs, had the good drive kicks and got the one that we got back late to seal the game. But we really like Ade, and he did a good job. So he got the special teams black shirt. And then so scout offense, young freshman, who I think is going to be a really good player as he develops and gets strong in the weight room. But Cooper Norris, he plays a lot of positions for us. He plays some full back, plays some defensive end. He even stepped up last week and played some scout team offensive tackle, and then played a little bit of tackle in the JV game to help us. So Cooper Norris got that. And then the scout defense, freshman linebacker Grady Ferguson. We call him Old Shady Grady, what the kids refer to him as. But Grady does a phenomenal job. He's a great kid, and he's one of those kids, after every practice, he comes up and shakes my hand and says, "Thank you, Coach. Thank you for what you're doing for us." And so, that's not why he got the black shirt by any means. He got the black shirt because he contributes, and he gives a great look over there, and he tries really hard to really give the exact simulation look that the scout defense is getting. So Shady Grady Ferguson gets the defensive black shirt this week.
We've got to get a graphic of these shirts too. Skull and crossbones, correct?
That's right.
Okay.
Black jersey.
We did notice the flag this past week.
We did.
Okay, it's been there for a few weeks now.
Okay. For some reason, we've missed that.
We're eyeballing captains. We're trying to write things down. So.
But the kids have really taken to that pirate type mentality and no surrender, no quarter, never back down. Just keep coming after them type mentality, and it shows. It shows in the fourth quarter.
Well, man, we're glad to have you with us. This is the Coach Grove Show. We've talked about the Black Shirt Awards. Did we get all of those in?
Yeah, we got them.
I know I interrupted you last week. I'm not going to do that today. But so we got a lot coming up on the show. I do want to point this out, though, before we go into our break. I realized this the other night when we were getting ready to wrap up the broadcast. But just want to tip my cap to Coach Groves. You got in your first head coach game, you got to win. In your first road game as a head coach, you got to win, and as you're in your first region game, you got to win. So a lot of firsts this year, and some positive wins. So congratulations, that's awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I didn't even realize all that, but thank you.
We'll point that stuff out from time to time. We try to keep up with that kind of stuff. But anyway, we're hanging out with Coach Groves. This is the Coach Groves Show. We're going to take a break, and we come back. It's the Getting to Know Coach segment of the week, and it should be a fun one today. So we're looking forward to that. We're glad to have you with us, and we shall return.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
All right, we welcome you back into the Coach Groves Show with head coach Wayne Groves of the Darlington Tigers. We're glad you're with us this evening. It's the Getting to Know Coach segment of the week. And, Coach, this week we're going to talk about a subject that Ian and I have talked about multiple times, but haven't had a chance to bring it up on this show, so I thought it would be a fun segment to have. But we're going to ask you, what are any bucket list sporting events that are on your list that you'd like to attend at some point?
Well, I think when you go sporting events, we talk about football first. I mean, obviously, I think most football coaches, they want to go to that Army-Navy game. I think that's a bucket list trip that would be really awesome to kind of be a part of, and just the pageantry and everything that's going on with that game and how long it's been played. And then for me, it's more, there's venues that I want to check off, not necessarily seeing a specific game, but venues. And so, obviously, being from the South, I've been to just about all the SEC stadiums. I've been to Bryant-Denny, obviously Sanford Stadium. I've been to the Swamp. I've been to Jordan-Hare at Auburn and all that. But the ones that stand out, obviously, I want to go to the Big House. I want to see a game at Michigan. I want to see a game at Notre Dame Stadium. I want to see a game at the Rose Bowl. Lambeau Field, I think, is huge. Huge, would be awesome to go to. And then, I'm a baseball fan too, so you got to hit Wrigley, you got to hit Yankee Stadium. You got to hit those, and Fenway Park probably.
I was about to say, when's he going to mention Fenway Park? He threw it in there right there at the end.
What are some of the venues that you have been to outside of college football over the years that have impressed you and left an impression on you?
Well, I've been to Clemson. I've been to Clemson for a night game before. That's really, really impressive. And then obviously LSU, Death Valley on a Saturday night. We got to go. I think it was somewhere around like 2005. We got to go see Alabama play at LSU. Our season worked out. We had an off week that week, and we got to go. Me and a buddy of mine got to go to LSU at night, see LSU play Alabama.
Wow!
So that was really that was the loudest football game that I've ever been a part of.
Heck yeah!
What about you, Ian? What's on your list?
I'm the same way. It's more about venues. Getting to go to the Masters has always been wonderful. I haven't been in years, but that's a heck of an experience, one that I'm glad I've gotten to do. But there's certain stadiums. I haven't been to the Rose Bowl. I've been to Lambeau, and that's on my list. The Big House is on my list, and I specifically want to go for the game at the Big House. I want to watch them play Ohio State. So I've got a buddy who's a diehard Michigan fan, and that's on our list for sure. And then Phil Carter, our dear friend, has convinced me that there is no finer place to see a basketball game than Allen Fieldhouse in Kansas. So I got to put that on my list. I was lucky enough working in college to cover all the Tobacco Road teams, so I've seen the inner workings of Cameron Indoor and the Dean Dome and all of that, but I want to get out to Kansas and see a game there.
Yeah, I agree with you on Kansas. I've never been to Cameron Indoor. That's certainly on my list as far as basketball is concerned. Pauley Pavilion, see UCLA. I'd love to go to a game at Assembly Hall, see Indiana. That would be pretty incredible to have that experience. Football-wise, Lambeau, that's on my list. I was thinking about this the other day. The only NFL games that I've ever been to have been Falcons games. So I've been to the Dome, and I've been to Mercedes-Benz, and I've been to Atlanta Fulton County Stadium back when they played on the dirt out there. But I've never been to another NFL game anywhere else that I can think of, which is kind of interesting. But
It's funny you mentioned Fulton County. My first Falcons game was the Falcons playing Joe Montana's 49ers, and I think he threw 5 or 6 touchdowns in that game. And my old man just looked at me and said, "Welcome to being a Falcon." And Dion played on that Falcons team. They got smoked. It was ugly.
And I'd like to go to Dodger Stadium. I've been fortunate enough to go to Wrigley. I went to the old Comiskey before they tore that down on the same trip. I've been to Fenway, but I've never been to Dodger Stadium. And I guess that's, the next one on the classic stadiums as far as baseball is concerned to go to. I wish I would have gone to Tiger Stadium for the Detroit Tigers before they, did away with that, because I hear that was, one of the really neat ones there. And this one's going to be kind of unusual around these parts, but I've always wanted to go to one of those Stadium Series Winter Classic hockey games because I love NHL hockey. And I think it'd be neat to go somewhere where it's snowing outside and it's cold and you can barely stand it and you're outside and you're watching a hockey game. I always thought that would be pretty neat to check that out. So, yeah. Well, good deal. Well, this has been a fun conversation, guys, and that's going to wrap up our Getting to Know Coach segment of the week. And let's see, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to shift our attention to the next game on the list, and that's the Coosa Eagles out at Branch Bragg Field coming up on Friday. It's region game number 2. It's hard to believe it, but I also made the realization the other day when we got done with the game that at that point the regular season is already halfway over. It doesn't feel like we could be at that point already. It just slips by so quickly. It really does. All right, well, let's take a break. We'll come back, and we'll have our next segment. This is the Coach Grove Show here on WLAQ YouTube and also our Facebook Live feed. We'll return.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
All right, we welcome you back to the Coach Grove Show here on the WLAQ YouTube stream, also our Facebook Live feed. And again, we're getting ready to go out to Branch Bragg Field, Coosa High School. And this is going to be the first game of the season in region play in which you guys lock horns with another team from in the county of Floyd County, which is super exciting. And looking forward to that. So let's go ahead and jump into it, Coach, and talk a little bit about the Coosa Eagles and what you know about them going into this matchup, looking at film.
Okay. Well, after kind of diagnosing them this Saturday and Sunday and breaking them down, Coosa on offense, they're a run-based offense. We got them at about 80% run, about 20% pass. And so they're going to run, and then they're going to try to catch you sleeping and throw you, hit you with a big play over the top. You're going to see multiple pro formations. So you're going to have 2 backs, you're going to have tight ends, you're going to have twins and sometimes twins over formations. They'll get into some single back, 1 back formations to a little bit of, their sweeps and toss sweeps and jets and stuff like that. Their top runs, you're going to see them run power. They're going to run old school ISO. They're going to run toss sweep, and then there's an option aspect in there that you'll see. They run some inside midline veer and outside veer stuff that you got to be dead on your responsibilities as far as run game goes to be able to slow them down and stop them. And so, pass game wise, you're going to get play action stuff. You're going to get verticals. You're going to get sprint outs, and so they can be a problem if you don't play good assignment football.
Yeah, and one of the exciting things for me and Matt last year is you're playing a local team. So you were on the road for a few weeks, got to play in front of the home crowd last week, which I'm sure was wonderful. But I imagine the Tiger fans will travel in droves out to Branch Bragg, and it's going to be a great environment that you're going to play in on Friday night. So talk about that environment.
Well, it just creates some natural rivalries is what you get, because these teams around here in Northwest Georgia, it's been 7AA back in the day, and then it's 7A and all that, but they've played numerous times, and so when you're 10, 15 minutes away. These kids all know each other. They're on social media together. They play other sports together, and so they're very familiar with the opponents that we're playing and the kids that we're playing. And so I think that's a good thing. When you get whole communities involved in the county and everybody's invested in coming to these games, it just makes them a little more special than they would normally be instead of you were playing out of town.
And Coach, you just opened a door for me. I've got to ask. Coaching in the modern era here with social media, how do you handle that with your kids? And that's a whole new level of trash talk. We didn't have that when we were kids. So now they can access each other. And do you have any rules that you put in place with your kids with social media?
Well, we tell them that nobody's allowed to talk on social media to an opponent. And same thing if we're in the ball game, you're not allowed to talk trash. You're allowed to talk trash with that helmet and them shoulder pads and the scoreboard. Okay, so that's something that we talk about all the time, and don't get involved in all that, because ultimately the scoreboard is going to be the ultimate trash talk when it's all said and done. So just focus on your job and do your job, and let's win the football game, and then we can do all that later.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've thought out the course of my adulthood in the last few years how grateful I am that social media didn't exist when we were young.
Right. Oh yeah, I've probably been on there too.
Man, what another layer of things that people have to deal with these days. Man, I'm on there more than I'd like to admit, though. I have to say that. But
you just don't want to give anybody any bulletin board material, that's going to give them any extra motivation. They're playing Darlington. That's enough motivation that they need to, because we're going to get their best anyway.
Well, you've kind of given us an overview of the Coosa Eagles. Let's talk about some of their personnel that you've been seeing on film that kind of stand out to you.
Okay. On offense, quarterback number 6, Jalen Warford. He's a kid that actually, when I was at Rome, he was at Rome and played basketball and came out for football. And so he's over there playing quarterback. He's a good basketball player, and he's an athletic kid, a point guard type that's running the offense. You got 2 running backs, Harrison East, who is a junior, who is a good, hard-nosed, tough kid that runs the ball really hard, also plays linebacker on defense, and he's an all-region player at linebacker, so he'll be one that'll stand out. Number 9, Joshawn Turner, is a junior running back. Tight end, Brandon Porter, junior. A couple of wide receivers that can really run. Caden Turner, sophomore, and then Lavanya Millsap. Around Rome, the Millsap name, we had a couple of Millsaps that played for us at Rome. They all can run. They're all great athletes. So he's one of the same, cut from the same cloth. Left tackle, you got an all-region player, Connor Souls, number 57, who's a senior, who's a good, hard-nosed, tough kid that blocks really well. And then the other tackle, Ethan Spearman, number 68. He's very hard-nosed, tough kid.
Excellent. It's going to be a heck of a matchup, I'm sure. What are some things we can expect, some players that we can expect to step up for the Tigers this week? Maybe some guys we haven't heard from that are going to see the field?
Well, we're getting some guys back, and that's a good thing, especially offensive line wise and defensive line wise. So you're going to see McKay Rush back out there this week.
Right.
McKay had a little injury, foot injury in the preseason, and so he's been working crazy to get back on the field with his rehab, and he's been really pushing that, and the doctors and our trainers, Donnie Brown, has done an excellent job getting him back in a situation where he can step back on the field. And so having McKay is going to be back. It's not only playing wise, but just leadership wise and just a general level of toughness on the field. McKay brings a lot of that, so we're glad to have him back.
And Coach, other than just the game plan in terms of getting ready for the Coosa Eagles specifically, what are some of the things that y'all been working on after you watched the film from last week's game to keep improving and getting better as you go through your region schedule?
Well, obviously, we just want to have a great understanding of our offensive plays and offensive line communication. And so, when they get certain looks, they got to make certain calls and execute those. We get certain blitz looks. We have certain calls that we have to do to pick up those types of things. And so just better communication up front on the offensive line. Defense, we've got to tackle better. Okay, we didn't tackle very good last Friday, and we've had some good tackling games early in the season. I didn't think we tackled very well, so that's been a huge point of emphasis, making sure we fit them up with our shoulder, we club up, grab cloth, and we're running our feet on contact. But that's been a huge emphasis, and we tackle every day at practice. So
good deal.
And what has the tone been like at practice this week, Coach?
Well, the tone is always, I'm just going to stay on them. It don't matter who we play. It doesn't matter who we play. It's about the execution of the defense, execution of the offense. And so we're just going to be pointed on that. We got to have pinpoint precision in our steps, in our alignment, in our assignments, in our eye discipline in the secondary. And if we play good, solid, fundamental football, we're going to have more good downs than we will bad. And so that'll give us the best chance to win the game. So that's been our point of emphasis, is just going back to our just pinpoint precision on everything that we do.
Well, Coach, as always, we really appreciate your time. It's always a pleasure to get together with you on Wednesdays and talk some Darlington Tigers football, and we'll start to wind things down. But, again, just thank you for your time, and go Tigers. We appreciate you.
Shoot, thank you, guys. Go Tigers.
All right, that's going to wrap up our show. You got anything else, Ian?
Hey, I'm dying to know what Coach thinks about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
I thought you weren't going to go there, but you did.
Big news out there. Hey, that's inspiration for your kids. This guy's just a baller out there. And now he's with the biggest superstar on the planet. So
yeah, well, Travis is a pretty good superstar himself.
He is.
In his own right. He probably doesn't have as big a bank account as she does, but
no, not even close.
For any athlete, you got to shoot your shot, man. He shot a shot, and and looks like it's working out well for him. So good for Travis Kelce, and good for football players in the NFL that get things done.
And for all our viewers today, you didn't see that question coming, but we're glad you stuck with us.
No doubt. What a great place to end the show.
Right.
Nice. Well, thanks, guys, and go Tigers. And thanks, everybody, for tuning in to this week's edition of the Coach Grove Show here on the WLAQ YouTube channel and also Facebook Live. We hope you have a great rest of your week, and we hope to see you out at Branch Bragg Field coming up on Friday evening to root on the Tigers. That's going to put a wrap on the show, everybody. Have a great afternoon or evening, whatever it is now. But getting darker early, kind of hard to figure everything out. But we appreciate you being here. We'll wrap things up with a word from our sponsor.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com. Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of the Coach Groves Show. We invite you to join us again next week as we discuss all things Darlington football with head coach Wayne Groves. Go Tigers!
Hello again, everybody, and welcome live to Branch Bragg Field, where I believe we are getting ready for the national anthem. Do you hear it? Is it already going on, or?
If it is, I can't. There we go.
Oh, here we go. We're going to give you the national anthem real quick, and let's see if we can get this crowd mic turned up so you can hear it. All right, there is our national anthem. Hopefully that was picked up on our crown mic okay enough for the radio listeners and video listeners back home. We're glad to have you with us. We're at Branchback Field on the campus of Coosa High School as we get ready for Region Game 2. The Darlington Tigers on the road for this one to face the Coosa Eagles. And Ian, we were talking to Coach Groves in the Coach Groves show in our pregame a little bit earlier. That was actually recorded on Wednesday evening. It's live on Wednesdays from the WLAQ YouTube channel and also our Facebook Live at 7 o'clock on Wednesdays. And, of course, we talked to Coach Groves about what it means for Darlington to play against the other local schools and how that, creates just an awesome atmosphere and kind of ratchets that up a bit. So I know everybody's excited about this one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a short trip for everybody to come to the ball game, so usually you've got great crowd on both sides, and they're gunning for each other. These guys grew up hitting each other in Pee Wee and Mite football and middle school, and now they're in region play competing for playoff spots. So it's going to be a little extra chippy out there, I would imagine.
I would imagine so. And both teams come into the matchup 3-2 on the season for the regular season. Meanwhile, Darlington Tigers are 1-0 in region play, while Coosa Eagles are 0-1. We'll talk about both teams' last game. Of course, Ian, you go ahead and tackle the Darlington Tigers and their victory. It was a gritty performance last week.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Had about as many momentum swings as you could ask for in a ball game. Dade County got out to an early lead. Darlington scrapped back and took the lead back going into the half, but a major strategic change occurred in the third quarter when Dade County came out in the wishbone and then ran it the rest of the game. And it looked like Dade was going to seize control, but special teams, something that Coach Groves really talked a lot about with us leading up to that game, swung the game. Talon Shirey, they moved him up to field the short kicks Dade was implementing, and he took it to the house, 72 yards. And it wasn't over there. Dade scored again, and then Darlington had to score late. So they had to fight all the way to the better end to win that game against the Dade County Wolverines. And those are the kinds of games you learn and grow from. They lost a tough one 2 weeks ago like that to Northwest Whitfield. Last week, they're able to come out on the winning end and start region play 1-0.
Definitely one of those learning experiences, and not to mention a region win to start region 1-0 is a big deal, no doubt about it. Meanwhile, across town, it was the Coosa Eagles taking on Armurchie, and unfortunately for the Eagles, I hear Armurchie dominated the Eagles on the line of scrimmage last week, got that running game going, and they built a 21-0 lead by halftime, eventually won that game 28-0, and you and I were talking on our pick show, and you pointed out that we both picked Armurchie to win that game, but neither one of us would have predicted the final score and how lopsided that game turned out.
No, not at all, and we know that Coosa likes to run the ball, but games were won in the trenches, and last week the Indians were able to win that battle.
Indeed, they did. Well, I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and take our first break here of our pregame show. We're glad to have you with us again. We are at Branchback Field on the Coosa High School campus, where the Darlington Tigers are getting ready to go up against the Coosa Eagles in Region Game 2 and see if they can make it 2-0 in region play and try to take control of Region 7A Division 1. Well, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in 3.5 minutes.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-0040.
At Darlington, we find our confidence in discovering who we are.
In the classroom
And on stage.
The opportunities are endless.
Our creativity knows no bounds as we take risks,
explore opportunities,
and stretch our minds.
Together with our teachers,
we use what we've learned to create beauty,
to tell stories,
to inspire.
We discover new passions
while allowing existing ones to flourish.
We know that we can do anything,
be anything,
achieve anything.
We give our time to something greater than ourselves.
Whether we're sketching,
singing,
writing,
or acting, we find new ways to express ourselves
and share our talents with the world.
We know that our ideas and contributions matter,
and we take great pride in that.
Because today,
because today,
tomorrow, forever.
We're Darlington Tigers.
My name is Ryan Somerville. I am the sales manager for Business Water Solutions. We do water purification coolers as well as ice machines for any size business. We're on campus right now at Darlington School. Super happy to be here. They're one of our biggest customers. I myself played sports here. Our two founders played sports here. It was absolutely our pleasure to be a sponsor for Darlington Athletics. I think one thing that really sets us apart is our water purification. There's 13 stages. The reverse osmosis part of it has been a huge part of our success, along with our 24-hour guarantee for service calls. So when a customer does call us, we're guaranteed within 24 hours. We were able to provide a touchless water system to make it more COVID-friendly in terms of germs and touching the water system. One thing I always say is we're not selling a product, we're selling our service. That's what we really push for every single day, is to have a customer service experience like they've never had before.
Welcome you back to Branch Bragg Field, home of the Coosa Eagles. Darlington Tigers here tonight to take on the Eagles in a region showdown, and very excited about this one. Should be a fun game. Let's talk series history. Give you the captains and the coin toss and all that good stuff coming up in just a little bit. But series history-wise, well, the Darlington Tigers lead it 18-5. Darlington won last year 38-7 over at Chris Hunter Stadium. And by the way, the Tigers have won the last 8 games in the series. Coosa's last win over the Tigers was back in 2004 when their head coach was Scott Chandler. And in the last 5 meetings, Coosa has only scored 13 points, and they've been shut out 3 times. So the Darlington Tigers have had tremendous success against the Coosa Eagles in recent years.
Points are hard to come by here. This is a Coosa Eagles team that likes to run the football, and if they can do that, they could have some success tonight. Darlington's going to have to key on that, shut them down, get them behind the chains early. But if Coosa wants to win tonight, that running game's going to have to be successful.
Indeed they will. And of course, the Tigers are about to make their entrance here in just a couple of moments. As you can see on the screen there, if you're watching on the video, if you're listening on the radio, we'll describe it to you. But they've got a slingshot with Angry Birds on there, and it says there's going to be some Angry Birds tonight. So shots have been fired.
Shots have been fired. Is everybody taking lessons from Rockmart?
And there's a sign here that says, "Here, kitty, kitty," and "Tame the Tigers" here from the Coosa Eagles that are over here on the sidelines on the fence. So these teams, there's going to be no love lost when this game is over. They're going to get after it, no doubt about it.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any love coming into it, and there'll be even less coming out.
Here are your captains for the Darlington Tigers tonight. You're going to have Talon Shirey, also Demarion Floyd, Jack Chandler, and in the lineup for the first time of the season, it's going to be great to have McKay Rush back in the lineup, and he won't be hard to figure out his number because he's back in 21 that we got used to the last year or so.
Yeah, absolutely, and we missed that in pregame. We were looking for number 50 and didn't see it, so Coach Groves was kind enough to let us know he's back in 21.
Indeed, and the captains for the Coosa Eagles, you got number 64, Ronnie Merrill, also number 57, Connor Souls, number 22, Pacey Smith, and number 56, Peyton Stevens, and the captains are making their way onto the field just now. So what we're going to do is take a 3-minute break because we're getting ready to kick this thing off and have some football from Branch Bragg Field. Darlington Tigers and Coosa Eagles coming up in 3 minutes. 100% sure that they won the toss, but that's what it looked like to both of us.
Yeah,
so.
we didn't get a clear signal from the official, but he spoke to the Eagles players first and then set everything right. So to the best of my knowledge, Coosa won the toss, elected to receive. And we talked about it in the pregame. You know, this is a Coosa team that wants to run the ball down your throat, and perhaps the best recipe for victory for Coosa tonight is controlling the ball, keeping that Tigers offense off the field. So maybe they just wanted to get out there and set the tone, Matt.
Maybe so, Ian. Ball's teed up at the 40. Ade DeSalis in at kicker, and he's going to kick this thing off, and we'll get this thing under the way from Branch Bragg Field. And again, once again, we welcome you into the broadcast, whether you're watching the video stream or listening on the radio. I'm Matt Davis alongside Ian Griffin to bring tonight's call. The Darlington Tigers are in their white road jerseys with purple pants and purple letters and numbers and the beautiful purple tiger paw. Ladies and gentlemen, toe meets leather. DeSalis puts the boot on it, end over end. It's going to drop into about the 1 or 2 yard line and rolls into the end zone, so an automatic touchback.
And Ade DeSalis, he got some action 2 weeks ago against Northwest Whitfield, but last week Hendrix Jones injured on the opening kickoff, and he was forced into place kicking duties, did a great job, and this young man looks to have a bright future kicking for the Tigers.
So the Coosa Eagles will come to the line of scrimmage, and we'll get this game underway. Jalen Warford is their quarterback, number 6. He is a junior, and he'll get everybody lined up, and we'll get things rolling. They're going to line up with a couple of tight ends. Everybody's going to be in tight here for this first play of the football game. There's the snap under center. They're going to hand it off, try to go to the right side. He dives forward at the end of the play, and they're able to get a few yards there on first down. So.
And a power formation, if I've ever seen one there. Coosa has a veteran offensive line, and they're going to try to lean on Darlington and just run the rock tonight. No secrets.
And it was number 5, the ball carrier, Harrison East. And they'll line up under center again. Warford's going to hand it off. They'll go up the middle this time, try to dive forward for a yard, but there wasn't much there. But they were able to get a yard or two, actually.
Yeah, they're pushing it forward. No doubt about it. Jalen Warford, the quarterback, Coach Groves described him as he's a good basketball player. So he's like a point guard at quarterback, and he's going to try to move this Eagles offense, but they try to lull you to sleep with the running game, and every now and then they'll hit you with a play-action pass.
And Harrison East, after that last play, came up a little bit gimpy. He's off the field. Under center is Warford. There's the snap. He's going to run the football, kind of cuts towards the near side, and the Tigers haul him in and bring him down. That sets up a 4th down, so we're going to see the Eagles go 3 and out on the opening possession.
Yeah, everything between the tackles. That was designed to get Warford out there on the edge, but good contain there by the Tigers defense, forced him back inside, and the rest of the defenders cleaned that up and forced the punt. So a 3 and out to start this game.
So 4th and 3 from the 20. Well, it looks like they may roll the dice here. That caught me off guard. 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side. Warford under center. And let's see if they actually snap the ball here. Man motions. They're going to try to draw them off sides. I bet they're not going to run a play here.
I thought we were going to go scared money don't make money there for just a second.
No, they're going to think again. Timeout's going to be called by Coach Mathis and Coosa, so we'll take it with them. 10:18 left to go, and Coosa will go 3 and out. We're going to send it back to the studio for a 30-second break. Coosa Eagles come out, and they are in punt formation now, and it looks like J.J. Warren is going to handle the punting duties here. No, that's not J.J. That's actually Chester Reyes, who will handle the punting duties here for the Eagles. Going to have a couple of dangerous men back at the 40. Ian here on the near side. You're going to have Talon Shirey on the other side. You got Demarion Floyd. Pick your poison there. There's the kick. That one's going to go in Talon Shirey's direction. He fields it at the 41-yard line, cuts up towards the far side, heading to that left side. Now turns, has got some green grass in front of him, running down the sidelines, and they haul him out of bounds, what looks to be about the 35-yard line. We'll see where they spot it, but great field position for the Tigers.
Yeah, fielded that one at the 40 and then worked his way all the way across the field, showing off that speed. Miles Twyman did a great job pulling up there and not getting baited into a block in the back, and that will set the Tigers up at the Coosa 35 for their first drive. Premium field position to start the game.
3 wide receivers to the near side here for the first play. Again, the Tigers working left to right, starting at the Coosa 35-yard line. No score on the scoreboard yet, but that could change pretty quick. There's the snap. Konchesky's got it, hands it off to Demarion Floyd, and Harrison East brings him down for a massive loss. Not exactly how the Tigers were hoping to start this drive.
Not at all, and Coach Groves called Harrison East out by name, said he's a heck of a player, and he showed it on that first play, dropping Demarion Floyd for a 5-yard loss.
So that's going to set up a 2nd and 15, now with the ball at the 40-yard line for the Darlington Tigers. 9:37 remaining here in the first quarter of the ball game. We're scoreless. This is the first drive of the game for the Tigers. Coosa went 3 on out on the first drive of the game. Two wide receivers on the far side, one on the near. Here comes the snap. Dropping back is Konchesky. He's going to throw a screen pass over to Talon Shirey. Nice stiff arm. Stays up. Gets tripped up. Dives it to the end of the play. Probably picks up about 7 yards.
Yeah, 7 or 8 there on the screen pass. And, just get Shirey the ball in space. Let him do his thing.
He was our Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game last week. And I believe the week before last as well. He's won it twice already this year. Of course, we call his name a bunch every game.
We sure do.
And that's on both sides of the ball and special teams.
An invaluable player for these Tigers.
2 wide receivers on each side for 3rd and 8 from the 32. And we get ready for the snap. Dropping back is Konchesky. He looks downfield, puts the ball in the air, wide open. Shirey jumps up at the end of the play, and it was a little bit high out of his reach.
Yeah, he got his hands on it, but it was well defended, and it was Lavanye Millsap that was back there breaking up the pass, and Shirey went up to get it, but Millsap went up and high-pointed that ball, made a good play on it, and that'll set up is that 4th down? It is, 4th and 7.
So 4th and 7 for the Tigers. And you mentioned Millsap. Great closing speed there, because initially I thought that Talon Shirey was going to be open, and then all of a sudden he wasn't. Very quick. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 on the far side. Sammy Konchesky is getting ready to run the play. Drops back, looking to throw. He's going to put it in the air, and caught! Into the end zone goes Aiden Davis. That is going to be a 35-yard play, or actually a 32-yard play there for the Darlington Tigers. A pass towards the end zone. Aiden Davis catches it, and the Tigers strike first. And again, it was 4th and 7.
Yes, it was. They were in no man's land there, Matt. No need to punt, out of field goal range. So they took a shot, and it paid off. Aiden Davis was streaking down the middle of the field, uncovered, got behind the defense, and Sammy Konchesky put that one right on the money. So the Tigers strike first and take a 6-0 lead.
So let's see if Ade DeSalis can put it through the uprights and make this a 7-0 ball game with 8:28 left to go. The hole looks good. Kicks on the way, a little bit low, but he is able to sneak it over the crossbar by a few feet, and it is good. So 7-0, Tigers on top.
And you can't script it much better than that. You get a 3-and-out on defense. You get a good punt return from Talon Shirey. First play from scrimmage, you lose 5 yards, but you bounce back, get 7 of that back on a screen pass. The next attempt was incomplete, but you go for it on 4th down again. Sitting there in no man's land right at the 32-yard line. Why not take a shot? Well, it paid off, and the Tigers are up 7-0.
Well, we are super glad to be with you tonight at the home of the Coosa Eagles Branch Bragg Field, where at kickoff it was 80 degrees, and as we progress through the night, we'll probably dip down into about the low 70s by the time the game's over. But it's still pretty warm here tonight.
It's muggy. It's a little heavy, but not. We've been in hotter conditions, haven't we, Matt?
Oh, indeed we have. Not a complaint by any stretch of the imagination. Still this time of year.
No doubt about it. Is that Aiden Davis' first touchdown of the year?
I don't think so. I think he
has one other.
Yep. I'd have to go back and look at my notes. I've got all of them here. That's going to be end over end, a short kick this time that lands at about the 15. It will be fielded and brought out by Coosa's number 11, Reggie Hammock, but he's going to be dropped about where he got it. So
yeah, that one had a little backspin on it, tight end over end kick there. and it bounced backwards when it hit, making it difficult to field, and Reggie Hammock had to start from the stop position with a bunch of Tigers gunning for him, so not much room to operate.
So if you've just tuned in on the radio, 8:23 left to go in the first quarter. Both teams have had one possession. This is Coosa's second possession that they're ready to begin, with the Darlington Tigers up 7-0. Coosa went 3 and out their first time out on the field after taking the opening kickoff. They're going to send a couple of wide receivers to the near side. Quarterback Warford is going to line them up here in 1st and 10. They're going to start at their own 16. The Eagles working from right to left. One wide receiver off to the far side. He motions now to the left, and they're going to give it to him and run a sweep, and he's going to be tripped up. Nice tackle there by the Darlington Tigers.
Is that 20? I think that was Sam 20.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. Good tackle there. So Coosa changing it up, Matt, bringing a different formation, spreading this Tigers defense out a little bit, went with the jet sweep. Looked like he had a little operating room there, but 20 came in and shut that down quickly.
So they got 2 yards on the play, bringing up a 2nd and 8 with just under 8 minutes to play. So the ball is now going to be on the 18-yard line on Coosa's side of the field. They'll send 2 wide receivers this time, one on the far side, one on the near. Warford takes the snap. He turns. They're going to hand it off and run off to the right side. He gets through and is able to get some decent yardage. He came close to the first down. Are they going to move the chains here? We'll see.
The far side official is a good yard short, but we've seen some interesting calls so far this season. It is going to be 3rd and 1. But a good run there by Harrison East. Just kept churning those legs after first contact and was able to pick up good yardage.
So the Eagles will line up here with 3rd and 1 with the ball now close to the 25. Warford under center. Let's see what they do here. He's going to dive forward. Quarterback's going to keep it, and he's able to get what he needs. So that's going to move the chains.
Yeah, and a good 3rd down conversion there for the Coosa Eagles to keep this drive alive.
So now the Eagles will come back to the line of scrimmage with 1st and 10. Now they're going to be at the 27-yard line, still on their side of the field. This time the wide receivers are going to have 2 of them, but they're both going to be on the near side of the field. Quarterback remains under center. He gets ready to take the snap. Warford's got it. He's going to pitch to his left, gets it into a playmaker's hands, and wrapped up by McKay Rush. And also another player was in on that. I think that was Sam 20 again. Joshawn Turner was the ball carrier. Not a lot there for him there. I think he took a loss.
Oh, not much at all there, Matt. Let's see where they spot the ball. Yeah, they're just going to be right at the chains. Maybe about a yard, but excellent defense.
All right, so that's going to set up 2 wide receivers on each side of the formation. 2nd and 9. Warford under center, gets ready to take the snap. He turns, hands it off. They go back to Joshawn, and he gets dropped instantly, bringing up 3rd and long.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was Brody Amos that was there to make the play right there in the interior of that Tigers defensive line, not allowing Coosa to get any push.
Got almost a yard there, so that sets up 3rd down and 7 with 5:45 left to go here in the first quarter. Ball is at the 30-yard line now. Coosa Eagles have got it, trailing 7-0 at home. Darlington Tigers scored on a pass play to Aiden Davis. Dropping back is Warford. He's going to tuck this football and run, and he's going to be well short. He picked up maybe a yard or 2. That sets up another 4th and 6 or 7 to go.
Not much there. Sammy Konchesky with a great tackle there as Warford tried to cut up field and make somebody miss. Konchesky was having none of it and shut that down. So the Eagles are able to pick up 1 first down on their second possession, but then are going to turn it over on downs and punt this back to the ever-dangerous return men that the Tigers have. And again, you said it earlier, pick your poison. Which way are you going to go with it?
We've already seen 1 big punt return from Talon Showery. Let's see if they kick it the other way. It's going right back to him. They're going to try it again. He fields it at the 40-yard line, does the same thing he did last time, cut to the far side of the field and starts running down the sidelines, but there is a flag on the field. So after this play, and he's going to run towards the end zone. This one's going to come out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Noah Duggan absolutely cleaned house back here. There was no doubt that was a block in the back, so that one will be coming back. takes the air out of your sails. You're watching a punt get returned for a touchdown, but you know that it's getting marched back.
We got a lot of things we're going to talk about at halftime. I know we're a long way away from that, but just to give you a little preview. Of course, we'll do what we do every week and give you scores from other games around the area, courtesy of Rome Orthopedic Center. There's been some big high school football news that's come out this week involving the GHSA. One of those pieces of news is discussions are on again about splitting up the championships as far as public and private schools. We won't give too much editorial opinion about that. We may give you some details about scenarios that are being discussed. And then another thing that has been coming out in the news this week about high school football in the state of Georgia. Evidently on Monday, the GHSA is going to have a meeting where they say they'll likely vote to have name, image, and likeness in high school football in the state of Georgia. So that's interesting.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time before that was going to happen. Before you know it, middle schoolers are going to be getting paid to advertise pizza parlors. It's and hey, if they're going to give it to the college kids, might as well give it to the young ones too.
Golly, that just
I want a
blows
deal.
my mind.
Can I get a deal? I guess I'd have to do something on the field for that, huh, man?
I reckon so. Shotgun formation, Sammy Konchesky takes the snap, and Demarion Floyd spins around and gets brought to the turf quick.
And Harrison East has blown up 2 plays on first down so far. Absolutely getting in the backfield and wreaking havoc. Another loss there. And right now, Demarion Floyd has 2 carries for -8 yards.
He'll get that turned around here probably in a couple of plays, I'd imagine. So we'll see.
I'd be shocked if he doesn't.
Oh, me too. 2nd down and 13. Ball is at the 25-yard line. Tigers still on their side of the field with it. And Konchesky takes the snap, fakes the handoff, goes the other way, and boy, good defense for the Coosa Eagles. They watched the film, didn't they?
Harrison East. Yep. I mean, that's a read option right there, though. East is either going to take the bait or he's not. He's guessed right all 3 times thus far as Konchesky decided to keep there. And Harrison East has already got 3 tackles for loss early in this ball game.
So we'll get ready for 3rd down, 3rd and 13 for the Tigers with 3:30 left to go in the first quarter. Tigers leading at 7-0. 3 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far. Man jumped over here for the Coosa Eagles. I believe that was number 56, Peyton Stevens. Jumped offside, so that's going to be a 5-yard gift to the Darlington Tigers.
First penalty of the game. Makes it 3rd and a little more manageable.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So 3rd and 8, and the Tigers are now going to start this play at the 30-yard line. Big weekend of football coming up. Looking forward to a lot of the college games that are coming up tomorrow. I enjoyed one yesterday. Talk about that in a minute. Involved a player from the Coosa Eagles. Former Coosa Eagle. There's the snap, dropping back. It's going to be Sammy Konchesky, puts the ball in the air, connects with Aiden Davis. They're in rhythm today, and that's a 1st down.
Yeah, 10-yard gain there.
That's good for a 1st down.
Sean Brown plays for the Jacksonville State Gamecocks, and last night they were playing Sam Houston over there in Huntsville, Texas. Were down for a good part of that game, came storming back, pushed it to overtime, and won it in 2 overtimes, and Sean Brown caught the pass that put them over the top in that game to get the win, a 23-yard pass in that game. Former Coosa Eagle.
Oh, that'll be another free 5 yards.
So the Eagles jump again, and it's going to be 1st and 5 here for the Tigers after they march off the yards. Love it when you get to see the local kids do well at the next level.
Oh, yeah. It's always awesome.
Make a big play on national television.
Right. I picked up the Rome News the other day, and there were about 10 players from Rome and the surrounding areas making plays on Saturdays.
That's awesome. 2 wide receivers on the far side. Konchesky taking the snap on 1st and 5, swings it out to Talon Shirey, who makes a grab, stays up, carries a tackler with him, and gets a 1st down. It's a 7-yard play. Wow.
Pickup of 8 for Darlington. That's good for a 1st down.
Konchesky's already 4 of 5 for 56 yards and a touchdown.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
We're down to the 2-minute mark now of the first quarter with the Tigers leading at 7-0. Now they've got it on the Coosa side of the field at the 46-yard line. They're going to line up with 2 wide receivers on the far side this time. In the backfield, I believe, is Demarion Floyd. Here's the snap. They're going to give it to DeMarion. He cuts towards the near side, shakes off a tackle. He is now at the 35, across the 30, and a nice juke, and he gets down to about the 25-yard line before they haul him in.
17-yard gain there.
No longer in the negative.
No longer in the negative. He now has 9 yards. Nice run there. I thought he was gone there for a second, but he kind of outran his blockers and had to wait on him to get ahead of him. So couldn't make the cut back and take it to the house, but a great run.
So now the Tigers with a 7-0 lead will come back to the line of scrimmage with 1st and 10 from the Coosa 25, working from left to right on your radio dial. Always love coming to games out here at Coosa. I guess they're the only team left in the area that actually have a real turf field anymore. Shotgun formation, there's the snap. They're going to hand it off and try to run a sweep with Miles Twyman, and he's going to be brought down for a loss.
Harrison East, that's his 4th tackle for loss.
In the Tiger backfield once again. That play loses 5.
So they lost 5 on that play, bringing up 2nd and 15 here for the Tigers. 43 seconds left to go on the clock in the first quarter, so we've almost got 1 quarter in the books here at Brett Sprague Field. 2 wide receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. The 1 on the near is Jake Trebus. Man motions off the left side of the formation, lines up as a tight end. Here's the snap. Dropping back is going to be Konchesky. Puts the ball in the air. It's a little high, but hauled in by Aiden Davis. And he carries the ball. Oh, it came out at the end of the play.
He's down.
He was down before it came out.
Absolutely.
Just short of a first down.
What, about a 14-yard gain, though, there to set up a 3rd and short? Is that about right?
I think you're correct.
Okay.
So 3rd and 1 for the Tigers. 5 seconds left on the clock, though, so I think we've seen the last play here of the first quarter, and we have. There's the buzzer. All right, folks, we are going to go ahead and take a break, but we'll go ahead and let you know the score is Darlington 7, Coosa 0, and we'll be back for the second quarter after a 1-minute timeout. Well, you know what, man? We're getting ready for the second quarter already. Tigers are on top 7-0. 12 minutes on the clock as we get ready to start this second quarter. Shotgun formation, wide receiver on each side. Here's the scenario. It's going to be 3rd down and 1 for the Tigers. They got the ball at the 16-yard line in the red zone. Jesse takes the snap, gives it to DeMarion Floyd, lowers his head and dives forward, and he is going to have the first down. I believe. Or was he short?
We'll see where
he got it.
Yeah, he got it. It's just a couple of yards. That's all he needed.
So the Tigers move the chains in the red zone. And good start to the second quarter with that play.
So far, most of the Tigers' offense has come through the air, as Harrison East has been a one-man wrecking crew. He had a heck of a first quarter. Four tackles for loss, and I think if you piled those yards up, it's probably about negative 17 yards.
Any team would love to have a guy like that. Right. My goodness. Shotgun formation, 2 wide set here for 1st and 10 with the ball at the 14-yard line of the Coosa Eagles. Darlington with the ball. And Konchesky getting ready to take the snap. He turns, hands it off. We got a flag on the field. Ball's on the way to the end zone. It's going to be batted away. Let's see what the flag is. It's a false start.
That'll back Darlington up their first penalty of the game And that was a dangerous pass there by Konchesky. He let that thing go over the middle. And looks like his receiver was open, but a great play there by Lavanya Millsap, who's already had one other pass break up in this game.
Legal motion is the call against Darlington.
Of course, every time I come out to Coosa High School, it's hard for me not to think about one of their most famous graduates, my dad, Randy Davis.
Heck yeah.
He was a Coosa Eagle and won the Shining Eagle Award many years ago. So at one point they had his picture hanging on the wall at the school. I don't know if it's still there or not when they did the new school, but there's the snap. Konchesky rolls to his right, looking down the field. Wide open Aiden Davis in the end zone on the right side. Konchesky runs the ball and gets a little bit of yardage there, but boy, Aiden Davis, he was all alone.
And credit to Konchesky. One of the cardinal rules is don't throw late and across your body over the middle. But in that one scenario, there was nobody there to pick that one off. Davis was absolutely wide open.
That's going to bring up 2nd and down and 7 with the ball now at the 11-yard line for the Tigers. Konchesky's going to line him up in the guns. Got Miles Davis in the backfield with him and 2 wide receivers on the far side. And here's the snap to Konchesky. He turns, fakes the handoff. It's a reverse, and he's going to find some room on the near side. That's going to be Talon Shirey. Burrows is his way forward, dives over the pylon. Did he get it over the plane? No. He's going to be out of bounds, a little bit short, but what a great run there by Talon Shirey.
Yeah, nice carry there.
About the 2.
So we got 9 yards.
Okay,
First goal for Darlington at the Coosa 2.
So far, Shirey having himself a ball game like he always does.
1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Let's see what they dial up here and see if they can punch it in. Tigers already up 7-0 with 10:36 left to go in the second quarter. Konchesky takes it. He's going to run, follow a blocker. He's going to be well short. There's going to be no gain on that play.
Yeah, some big bodies down there. For Coosa, you had Cotton Turner, and then you had big Ronnie Merrill clogging up the running lanes there and getting the stop on 1st and goal.
So the Tigers will go back to the drawing board now. 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. That looks like they're going to shift around some personnel before they line up for this next play. They're going to bring in Demarion Floyd. Lining up at wide receiver on the far side. There's going to be Talon Shirey here to the near side. Already with a touchdown in the game is going to be Aiden Davis. And again, Demarion Floyd in the backfield with Sammy Konchesky. 2nd and goal. Here's the snap. They're going to turn, hand it off to Demarion Floyd, and he's going to be pushed into the end zone. A 2-yard plunge for Demarion Floyd, and the Tigers strike again. It's going to be 13-0 with a pending PAT.
And a 10-play drive there from the Tigers that is finished off with a 2-yard touchdown run by Demarion Floyd.
So the Tigers up 13-0, but DeSalis is on now to try to tack on the extra point, and that one looks like it's going to be right through. It is. It's 14-0 with 9:49 left to go in the first half of the football game.
And the Darlington Tigers are 2 for 2 on possessions converted into touchdowns, and that's how you want to do it. They have been efficient. 1 penalty in this ball game. Not a lot of running room between the tackles for the Tigers, but they've been able to move the ball through the air. Did have one really nice run there of 17 yards by Demarion Floyd, and then he caps it off with a 2-yard touchdown run. So everything's going in the right direction if you're wearing purple and white right now.
Indeed it is. 14-0, 9:49 left to go in the second quarter. We didn't get a chance during the pregame to talk about the coaching matchup a whole lot, so let's start with Coosa Eagles head coach Joey Mathis. This is his 4th season at the helm of the Eagles. He's a Calhoun native. He was a member of Calhoun's class of 1995. He spent time over at Adairsville, Pepperell, also shorter football programs as an assistant. Then he went on to Marion County, Tennessee to follow Rick Ross up there, be his offensive coordinator. Again, in 2014, he was their head coach. In 2016, starting there for a few years. And in his first year there, they made it to the state championship game. Came up short in the game, but he's an excellent football coach, a super nice guy. If you've ever had a chance to talk to him, I know you have. I really like him. Ide DeSalis to kick it away here for the Tigers after putting up the score. That's going to be end over end, and it will drop and roll all the way down to about the 2-yard line and go out of bounds.
Yeah, so it'll end up benefiting the Coosa Eagles, but that one, there was a little regret on number 11's face there as he let that one go. Had that ball put the brakes on, it would have been live, and they'd have been in trouble, but it rolled out of bounds, and Coosa will start out at the 35.
Best field position of the 3 possessions here for Coosa. Their first, they would start out of the 20 after a touchback. Their second possession, they'd start at their own 16. So this time, they don't have quite as far to go the other 2 times.
And they will continue to look to establish this running game, but they are spreading things out a little more in these later possessions.
Warford's going to line them up in a gun with 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 on the far side. And he gets ready to take the snap here on 1st and 10 from their 35. He gives it to East, and he's wrapped up immediately. McKay Rush is there. A couple other
20.
Tigers.
Yeah, you had Sam 20,
great,
as well as Ashton Albers.
Indeed, man. And just so great to see McKay Rush back out there because it's his senior year, and he's been on the sidelines for half the season. Got hurt, before the season started, and that's got to be tough on a guy in his last year to be on the sidelines watching his teammates. But he's out there tonight.
No doubt about it. He's had a boot on, but he looks to be operating at full strength here tonight.
2nd down and 12 here for the Eagles after a loss. Warford takes the snap, turns, hands it off, goes back to East, and he is able to get back some of those yards they just lost, so that's going to be a gain of about 4 or 5 yards.
And here's where you have Coosa outside of their comfort zone. This is exactly what you want to do if you're Darlington. Get them back behind the chains, keep them off schedule, force them into a passing situation because that's not what they do well. They like to run the ball, and 3 yards in a cloud of dust type offense. So we'll see if they can muster something up here, but the Tigers will probably pin their ears back and be ready to go after the quarterback.
So Jalen Warford's going to line them up here for 3rd and 9 with the ball now at the 36-yard line. Coosa working left to right on their side of the field. There's the snap. Warford drops back. He's got company immediately. Gets a good ball out to the middle of the field. They get the first down. On the run is Caden Turner, and he is going to be brought out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. So the pass is successful, and they get a first down and then some.
And I tell you what, Jalen Warford made me eat my words really quick as he found Caden Turner and hit him with a laser about 15 yards down the field, and then Turner did the rest of the work, making a couple of Tigers miss and getting it all the way down to the 37-yard line.
I wonder if they call him Turner the Burner.
Right.
I always like that nickname.
Right. Well, we know that the Tigers have a young man named that they call Shady Grady on their scout team. So
3 wide receivers, 2 on the near side, 1 on the far side. 1st and 10 now. Eagles in Tiger territory from the 35. They're going to hand it off, and they go to Joshon Turner, rather. And not a lot there for him. Picked up about 2 yards.
It looks like
maybe
about
a little bit
3
more,
or 4 almost.
Well, give him
on
4.
The carry.
Whatever.
Yeah.
What do I know?
I was a little disappointed that I hadn't thought of Shady Grady. I have a son named Grady. I should have put that one together, Matt. Well, I'm gonna steal it from Coach Groves.
How you think Grady's going to feel about that? Are you going to like that one?
I don't know. He's very unshady, so not saying that their Grady is shady, but it just works.
It's probably an ironic nickname. Is what
exactly.
I would say.
Exactly.
Like how they call bald guys Harry and tall guys Shorty. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. Big John.
Pick your poison. 3 wide receivers, 2 on the near side, 1 on the far side. We got a.
Let's see. That has to be on the Eagles. Or did they call a timeout?
Yeah, I think they must have called a timeout. Yep, Eagles call a timeout, so we're going to do the same thing. 7:31 left to go here in the first half. Darlington leads 14-0, and we're back in 30 seconds. Hey, Ian, you remember before the game started and you talked about how it was going to cool off and we were going to be comfortable? When is that going to happen exactly?
I'm waiting.
It's
I'm
hot.
waiting. It is. It's a little steamy here in the booth.
Oh, my goodness.
Need a breeze.
Just an observation. I'm not complaining, folks, by any stretch.
Need a matter soft, guys.
Oh, man. We're in our 40s. What can I say? 2 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far. They're going to hand it off. They go back to Josh Shawn there, and he takes a punishing couple of hits from the Tigers. Who all was in? I know McKay was there.
Well, Josh On ran right into the back of Braden Turpin. I mean, he took the handoff and ran into his own guy there because he was being pushed back as he pulled by the Tigers' defensive front.
So this brings up 3rd and 8 here for the Coosa Eagles, and they'll have the ball at their own 35. And Ian, we've got an incredible moon. We can't quite see it yet because it's beyond the trees, but I don't know what you call it. But I don't think Steve's going to be with us tonight to help us with this. We have to do our own research. There's the snap. Dropping back is Warford. He's got company. He tries to bail, and he gets brought down. This brings up 4th and a long way to go. Host the Tigers there.
Yeah, absolutely. Henry Ledbetter led the charge there, but he was able to get loose of Ledbetter, and there was a few other Tigers that swept in there and got the sack. Too many numbers to call out who gets credit for that one. We're getting a little camera work here on the moon, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much.
That's a nice angle. We can't get that right now. It's still lurking behind the pines over there. Is it a harvest moon, Matt? Is it a blood moon? I don't know what you call it.
I'm not sure. We called it harvest moon last time, and it wasn't. I'm not even going to take a stab at it.
We need Mr. Corbin to step up and let us know what's going on here.
He's on it. He's going to tell it. I hope so. Here comes the punt from Coosa, number 17. Again, this is going to be Reyes, and that is going to drop. And, oh, my goodness, it goes into the end zone. I thought they were going to have Darlington pinned at the 1-yard line for a second there.
It looks like it. A good punt. But that will set Darlington up for their 3rd possession at their own 20-yard line. They'll have 80 yards to get to pay dirt. And, man, this game's flying by. 5 minutes and 47 seconds.
Seems like it.
I know.
It's going to slow down to a crawl now, no doubt about it.
Yes, it will be a 7-hour second half.
But I will say this is going to be the shortest drive home of the year for me because I live less than 3 miles from the stadium here. Shotgun formation, 3 wide set, 2 on the far side, 1 in the near. They're going to give it to Demarion Floyd, and Stutter Seps cuts back inside down at the far hash.
About 7 yards.
About 7 yards. Good play there by Demarion.
And he was operating out of the negative, but he's up to 20 yards on 6 carries now, Matt.
Thank you, sir. 2nd and 2 now for the Tigers. 5:26 left to go first half. Tigers lead at 14-0. Ball's going to be at the 28-yard line. Darlington still in their own territory. They got 2 wide receivers to the near side. That's going to be Talon Showery and Aiden Davis, 1 on the far side. And here's the snap to Konchesky. He's going to turn, hands it off to Demarion Floyd. Big scene for him. He's running down the sidelines. I don't think anybody's got a chance. We'll see. He's out of the 20, 15, 10, 5. Trots into the end zone. Massive run for Demarion Floyd and the Darlington Tigers. My goodness, 72 yards to pay dirt for the touchdown.
My goodness, he's up to 92 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he's hungry for some cupcakes. Him and Aiden Davis right now are competing for that top spot. But an explosive play. Coosa did a really good job bottling him up the first few possessions. But that time, it was D-man to the house.
Indeed it was. And DeSalis on for the extra point. It's on the way, and that one is going to be through as well. He's perfect. 3 for 3 tonight on extra points. 21-0. Darlington leads at 4:57 left to go here in the first half of the football game. Great start for the Tigers.
Yeah, you can't ask for a much better start. You want to jump out to a big lead, and now you just got to continue to keep your foot on the gas, play solid defense, and keep executing cleanly. And continue to build that lead. And the Tigers have all 3 timeouts left with 4:57 left. They should get at least 1 more possession before the half.
So Coach Groves has had a lot of firsts this year as a head coach. Of course, the first game of the year was a home game. They won that one over Christian Academy of Knoxville. And then as far as his first road game, that was over at Christian Heritage. That turned out to be a 35-0 shutout victory. So it was his, as a head coach, first shutout, and also in a first road game of the year, a win. And then last week, playing for their first region game of the year, The Darlington Tigers got a win, so Coach Grove's got a win in his first region game. So, I mean, that's not anything he's going to be looking at and talking about, but we can talk about it.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
He's doing a fantastic job in his first year as a head coach, isn't he?
He is. And Matt will have some scores at halftime. What was our difference this week?
You know, I'm going to have to go back and look. I actually think I brought my sheet. I picked Dalton, and you picked Tyler.
Oh, yes, that's it. That's it.
You gave up on Dalton, man, and you may pay for it today. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. Here comes the kick from DeSalis. That one's going to be end over end. It'll drop in at about the 10-yard line. Will be brought out. Young man's going to be dropped at about the 23-yard line. Took a heavy hit. And that was Reggie Hammock, the return man. So average field position here for Coosa to start out.
Yep. And they will come out and see. So far, the best drive they had was their second. It was 6 plays, and then they had to punt it away. Well, actually, they got down. They had that one passing play on the last drive, so they've been able to muster 1 first down on their last 2 possessions.
So they're going to start this drive at their own 22-yard line. So they got to go 78 yards if they're going to get any points here before we get to halftime. 4:53 left to go in the first half. 21-0. Tigers lead it. Tigers have scored on all 3 possessions they've had in this football game. Man motions from the far side to the near. They're going to hand it to him, and he's going to miss a tackle. If a flag comes in, that's probably a face mask, isn't it?
Yeah, it was incidental. He didn't grab. He let go of it as soon as he realized he had it, but definitely did get his hand on the face mask there.
We have a great vantage point from the press box here. I like the distance it is from the field.
Yeah.
And then having this open window here, it's a really, really great place to set up for the game. Always enjoy coming out here.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I can't even recall what year it was. I think it might have been 2018. Let's see. So they will march off the penalty here, 15-yarder.
So it'll be 1st and 10, Coosa now.
So the Eagles get a first down on that one. And now the line of scrimmage is going to be at the 37-yard line as we get ready to resume play.
Are you pumped for the marching Eagles?
Oh, man, I love it.
You ready for a little marching band action?
It is not Friday night without the marching band at halftime. Love it.
We got a real nice rendition of the national anthem from the chorus here at Coosa. That was lovely. Coosa went to set up and is now going back to the huddle to get things straightened out.
Going to have some scores for you at halftime, and we're going to talk about a couple of those subjects we referenced earlier involving the GHSA and some potential changes that they are looking at. And then also, we're going to talk about the Braves some. We'll give you an update on that in a little bit. Of course, the Braves have had a big week. They swept the Cubs. And my sister's actually down at the game tonight down there at Trues Park, taking that one in. Yeah, some Friday night baseball for her.
That? Well, good for Elizabeth.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was down there on Tuesday night, that first game against the Cubs, and boy, what a crazy way to win a baseball game. We'll talk more about that later. But now the Coosa Eagles are at the line of scrimmage. 3 wide receivers. Warford's got them lined up in the gun. He drops back, puts the ball in the air, and he connects with the receiver. That's going to be Millsap.
Yeah,
and
5-yard gain.
And Warford has kind of an unusual delivery. It's almost kind of 3/4. How would you describe that?
Yeah, he kind of sidearms it in there, and ball comes out a little wobbly, but it comes out with a lot of velocity.
And he's connected on, I believe, his last couple of passes.
He has. I believe he's 2 for 2. The other times he's dropped back, it's been a run.
So Warford's going to be under center. 2 wide receivers on the far side, 1 on the near for 2nd and 6 with the ball at the 41. Coosa with it on their side of the field. They're going to hand it off. They go to Joshawn on this one. He breaks free. He's on the run down at the 40. Now he's down to the 30, and he scampers out of bounds.
Yeah, Turner breaks a big one for Coosa.
He's going to be inside the 30 here, so they have 1st and 10.
Yeah, great vision there from that young man, Joshawn Turner. Took the play, cut it back to the right, and turned on the afterburners. If it wasn't for Talon Shirey, he would have taken that one to the house. So a little life for the Coosa Eagles.
Indeed, Ian. They've got it at the 25-yard line with 1st and 10, trailing 21-0.
About 38 for Turner.
Coosa received the opening kickoff of the football game, so the Tigers are going to get it to start the second half.
Right.
One wide receiver on the far side. That's going to be Lamarian Millsap. Going to have a few wide receivers this time on the near side, but quarterback's going to be under center. He's going to have Josh Sean.
And a timeout, Coosa. That'll be their last time out of the half.
All right. Well, let's take one as well. 4:17 left to go here in the half. Darlington 21, Coosa 0. We're back in 30 seconds. We welcome you back live to Branch Bragg Field, where the Tigers lead at 21-0, but a little daylight here for the Coosa Eagles here with 1st and 10 with the ball at the Tigers 25.
Yeah, this is the furthest that the Eagles have traveled into Darlington territory, and they're set up with a first down. See if they can convert on this scoring opportunity. And Matt, they just used their last timeout with 4:17 left. It would benefit the Eagles to take their time here and limit the amount of time they leave Darlington to go back and score before the half, since they received the second half kickoff.
Going to have 3 wide receivers in a bunch here to the near side, one on the far side. Turner from the pistol, or not Turner, Warford from the pistol. He's going to fire towards the sidelines. A little miscommunication there on that play.
Yeah, I think the pressure just disrupted that one, and Warford dropped back, and that little sidearm delivery of his actually helped him, because 20 was up in the air, and he was able to kind of sling it around him. But was it a backwards lateral? No. Yes, they are going to count that as a backwards pass.
So a loss of 2, and that brings up 2nd down and 12 here for the Coosa Eagles. And now we can really see that moon shining. Boy, that is absolutely stunning.
It is.
My goodness.
You can see the man in the moon tonight.
So the Eagles come back to the line of scrimmage. They'll send 1 wide receiver far to the left side, 2 to the right side. And Warford takes the snap, drops back, looking to throw. He's got company, and he's going to just throw it into the turf.
Yeah, they tried to set up the screen there, and there were just too many white jerseys surrounding Harrison East, who was the one who would have received that if there was room to throw it. But Warford made the right decision to just throw it at his feet and survive to fight and live another play here. I would imagine this is 4-down territory for the Eagles. Not sure what they've got at kicker, Matt.
Right now it's 2-0. Braves on top of the Nationals in the bottom of the 3rd, by the way.
It'd be great to see them just win out, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Yeah.
Leave some in the tank for the playoffs, though.
Right.
I get superstitious and try to think of every angle.
Well, they may have knocked the Cubs out.
Oh, what a series. From the gun, here's the snap to Warford, drops back on 3rd and 11, puts the ball in the air towards the end zone, and Showery had a hand on it, couldn't reel it in. That's going to fall incomplete.
And Warford just trying to give his guy a chance to go and make a play. It was Jay. Who did he throw that one to? It was number 3, his favorite target there, Lavonye Millsap. And Millsap went up a little early. Showery got a hand on it, couldn't reel it in. I think you're going to see Coosa go for it here, maybe take another shot. Either you catch it, maybe you get a PI. Keep the drive alive, but no reason for the Eagles not to take a shot here.
So Warford comes back from the sidelines, goes to the huddle with his team very briefly, and now they're going to send a wide receiver to the far side and a couple to the near. They're going to have a couple of backs in the backfield with him. Josh Turner's right next to him on the right. Here's a pass in the air, and that's going to be way over the intended receiver's head, incomplete.
And that time, Warford let that ball go way before he had to, but that pressure that Darlington's been bringing all night was obviously getting to him. He had a receiver, and if he had just backpedaled a little bit, he might have had a touchdown, but instead it'll be a turnover on downs, and Darlington will take over at their own 32-yard line for their 4th possession.
With an 80-year history of hitting.
With 3:52 left to go here in the first half of the ball game, with Darlington leading at 21-0.
And the Tigers have all 3 timeouts.
So the Tigers line up at the 27-yard line. Shotgun formation, 2 wide to the near, 1 on the far side. Tigers working right to left. They'll motion Talon Showery, they're going to run a sweep with him, trying to get him in space. Runs out to the edge. Now cuts back towards inside. They cannot get a hold of him. He's slippery, folks. Now he's going to be brought down at about the 29, so a little running for a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, and I tell you what, he was brought down there by number 16, Hagen Coffin. And if it wasn't for Hagen getting him, if he'd one or two more Eagles miss, he was going to be waltzing into the end zone, and he probably would have needed a stretcher to get back to the bench from all the running. I think he ran 40 yards to gain 2.
I think you're right. 2nd down and 8 for the Tigers. 29-yard line here for this play. They're going to send 2 wide receivers to the far side. Konchesky ready to take the snap. He's got the ball, turns, fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right, puts the ball in the air, and that's going to be incomplete. Threw it to his right.
Aiden Davis was running free. That one just came out of Konchesky's hand a little bit odd. He'd have been walking into the end zone. Now,
there's a flag as well.
Probably a hold, if I had to guess. Ineligible receiver. Matt, that's going to be the call. So one of the Darlington linemen just drifted a little too far past the buffer. So it wouldn't have mattered anyway. It would have hurt more had that ball been on target and Hayden Davis waltzed into the end zone.
Thanks. Go ahead.
Well, Mr. Davis is finding himself back behind the defense a lot tonight.
Oh, no question about it. Well, we are almost at halftime. 3 minutes and 1 second left on the clock here in the second quarter. A lot of things to talk about at halftime, so we're looking forward to our halftime show for you this evening. And we got shotgun formation, 2 wide set here for 2nd down and 8. There's the snap. Konchesky drops back, looking downfield, has time, puts the ball in the air, and caught by DeMar Floyd, gets tripped up by the turf monster about the 34-yard line. But what a great play, and now the Tigers have got it in Eagles territory.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a heck of a pass. How long was that pass, Matt? Looking at the
started
replay
at the 29.
Okay.
And got it down to the 33. Tigers go back to the line of scrimmage. Going to have 2 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. And Konchesky getting ready to take the snap. Man motions to the right. That's going to be Talon Showery. They give it. Nope. Quarterback keeps it, runs up the middle, and he is going to be gone. Konchesky trots into the end zone, and that is going to be a 34-yard scamper for a touchdown. What a great play by Sammy Konchesky.
And Matt, just a great read there by Konchesky. He takes the snap, fakes that to Showery on the jet sweep, goes up the middle, and there's nothing but daylight for Sammy Konchesky. And the Tigers have now scored touchdowns on all 4 possessions. And with 2:27 left and all 3 timeouts, they may get another shot.
Here's the PAT. It's on the way, and that one's going to be through. He is 4 for 4. Ade DeSalis with another extra point.
Absolutely. It's been a clean game for the Tigers tonight. Great execution in all phases of the game, and a 28-0 lead here late in the first half.
And certainly not picking on the Coosa Eagles here, but last week they were down at halftime 21-0 to the Almerchi Indians, ended up losing that game 28-0, and here they are down 28-0 against Darlington here on their home field tonight. So it's been tough sledding for the Eagles the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm interested to see how Darlington handles this next 2 minutes and 27 seconds. You've got to gear up, and you don't get the opportunity to have these situational opportunities to teach your team lessons about the 2-minute offense. I think they got to go down, try to get a 3 and out, and then use these timeouts and let the offense execute the 2-minute drill.
So the Tigers tee it up. DeSalis is going to kick it away back to the Coosa Eagles, who now trail 28-0. And there's the whistle. And DeSalis will trot to the ball and puts the boot on it. That one's going to be end over end, drops in at the 15-yard line, will be fielded and brought out. Young man cuts up towards the middle of the field, and he's going to be dropped by about 5 or 6 Darlington Tigers. Reggie Hammock.
Yeah, the 22-yard line's where I have it marked. Matt, that's where Coosa will start their 5th possession. And we'll see how risky they are with their play calling here. Will they continue to just pound the rock, or will they take some shots and try to move the ball through the air?
So the Eagles will go back to the huddle here. Warford brings them out. East is going to be in for this package here as they get ready to open up the drive. 1st and 10 from their own 22, working from left to right. Going to send 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 on the far side. Joshua Turner is also going to be in the backfield with Warford and East. There's the snap. They're going to pitch it to East, try to get him a little bit of room, and there's none. 4 Tigers on him immediately.
Yeah, 2-yard loss there. A little option pitch to East, and nothing doing. And Darlington's letting the clock run for now.
Good sportsmanship there. There's a couple of Tigers there helping him up after the tackle. Under 2 minutes to play now here in the second quarter. Tigers with a commanding 28-0 lead. Tigers have started the season 3-2, 1-0 in region play after a gritty victory last week at home against Dade County. That's a good little football team from Dade County. 3 wide receiver set to the near side, 1 on the far. There's a swing pass to the near side and connects with number 3. That's Levante Millsap, or Levain Millsap rather. And it's complete for positive yards. Picked up about, 5 yards on that play? 6.
Yes, yeah. Got him back in 3rd and manageable. Did go out of bounds. That stops the clock. So the Tigers opted not to use their timeout on 1st down after the stop. But with them going out of the boundary, we'll see what they do here if they can get off the field on 3rd down.
So the ball's at the 27-yard line. Coosa's got it on their side of the field. 3rd down and 6. Under center, Warford takes the snap. He rolls out to his left, looking down the field, puts the ball in the air, and just out of reach of the intended wide receiver, Kaiden Turner.
And credit to the Eagles. You know, they didn't just concede and just run the ball 3 straight times. They took some shots, and we've got a flag. It's going to be an eligible receiver. I imagine Darlington will decline that penalty. But that incomplete pass does stop the clock, and Darlington will get the ball back with all 3 timeouts. Minute and 28 seconds left, and they have scored their last 2 possessions, 2 plays and 3 plays.
Man.
Yeah.
Chester Reyes, the punter for the Coosa Eagles, is going to trot out onto the field. You're going to have a man for the Tigers standing about midfield. That's going to be Talon Shirey, who we saw run a kickback, 78 yards last week for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Chester Reyes in the punt.
Dangerous guy. I would certainly kick it out of bounds if it was up to me.
Yes.
Shirey and Floyd back deep.
And also Floyd back. Now they're both standing on each hash at about the 45-yard line. There's the kick. That one spins around into the arms of Talon Shirey, who cuts back towards the middle of the field, trying to get out to the far side and find some room to run. Now he cuts down the sidelines and gets out to about the 47-yard line.
Yeah, full complement of timeouts, minute and 15 seconds, and they get to start at their own 46.
Darlington will take over. Just over a minute left to play here in the first half at their own 47.
So 1:15 left to go here in the half. Darlington leads at 28-0 and has 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. So we may have not seen all the scoring we're going to see here in this first half. We'll see.
Yeah. I certainly expect them to go for the jugular here.
Shotgun formation, 2 wide on the near side. Sammy Konchesky getting ready to take the snap. He's got the ball, rolls to his left, looking for Aiden Davis, finds him, connects at about the 50-yard line, dives, catches it as he goes out of bounds.
Yeah, about a 5-yard completion there.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
So the Tigers have got 2nd and 5 with 1:08 left to go here in the half. Going to send 2 wide receivers on each side of the formation as we get ready for Konchesky to take the snap here on 2nd and 5 from the 50. He drops back and looking downfield. He's got some company in the backfield now. Looks like he's going to put the ball in the air and out of reach of the intended wide receiver, Talon Shirey. Well out of reach.
Yeah, good decision there by Konchesky to just fire that one out of bounds. He was going to try to pick it up with his feet, but Harrison East was in hot pursuit, so he just hurled that one towards the sidelines. Only his 2nd incompletion. He's 7 for 9 for 102 yards and a touchdown tonight, Matt.
Wow.
An efficient performance from the quarterback. Tack on that 34-yard touchdown run, and he's having a heck of a night as well.
Ball's at the 49-yard line, just inside Coosa territory for 3rd and 6. Three wide receivers on the far side this time. Konchesky drops back. Going to put the ball in the air, and this one is going to be incomplete. Intended receiver this time was DeMarion Floyd. He had two defenders that were in the vicinity as well.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any need to push things here. I imagine they'll punt this away and take it on to the locker room with a 4-touchdown lead. But we'll see.
Ball at the 49-yard line. Offense at this point looks like to be still on the field. Going to send two wide receivers to the far side. They'll come back to the line of scrimmage here on 4th and 6. 55 seconds to go in the half. Konchesky looks off to the sidelines. Now
punt it.
We get ready for the snap. Here is the kick, as you called it. And that one's going to drop, take a nice roll for the Tigers down to about the 11-yard line.
The old John Elway special there. That's the first quarterback I remember who would regularly just kind of step back a few yards and pooch the punt. So very effective, keeps the return game off. So a nice punt there from Konchesky to add to his stat sheet.
Indeed, and that pins the Eagles back to the 11-yard line. So they've got, no timeouts and 45.4 seconds left to go here in the half to try to get it, down the field.
Yeah, no timeouts to work with, as you pointed out there, Matt. I think we may see them just run this one and get to the locker room.
Going to have scores from other games around the area when we get to halftime, courtesy of Rome Orthopedic Center. Eagles coming back to the line of scrimmage. Going to have two wide receivers for this set, one on the far side as well. And under center is going to be Warford. He is going to hand the ball off. They give it to East. He finds a seam. He's across the 20 and down across to about the 27-yard line for a first down.
And now you may see a little more urgency out of the Eagles. They bust a run here early in the drive. Not much time left, but they're hurrying to the line.
So two wide on the near side, one on the far side. 1st and 10 Eagles. From the 25, there's the snap, going to hand it right back to East, gets out to the edge, leaps over a player and gets out to about the 34.
Yeah, he stayed in bounds that time though, Matt, so that could be the last play of the half.
Brings up 2nd and 3, and you're right. 15 seconds on the clock now and ticking. And the Eagles walk slow back out the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think they're ready to head on to the locker room, Matt.
Yep. So 5 seconds left on the clock. It will run off 2-1, and that is the end of the first half. Darlington Tigers, very successful half. They're going into the locker room with a 28-0 lead, and also with the knowledge that they're going to have the ball to start the second half of the ball game.
Absolutely. Not much went wrong for the Tigers in that first half, Matt. So they'll take the 28-point lead, and we'll see how they come out and perform in the second half.
All right, we're going to take a break. We are very, very super happy to have you along with us. Glad to be here tonight from Branch Bragg Field. Tigers on top, 28-0. It's halftime. Let's send it back to the studio for a 4-minute break.
My name is Ryan Somerville. I am the sales manager for Business Water Solutions. We do water purification coolers as well as ice machines for any size business. We're on campus right now at Darlington School. Super happy to be here. They're one of our biggest customers. I myself played sports here. Our two founders played sports here. It was absolutely our pleasure to be a sponsor for Darlington Athletics. I think one thing that really sets us apart is our water purification. There's 13 stages. The reverse osmosis part of it has been a huge part of our success, along with our 24-hour guarantee for service calls. So when a customer does call us, we're guaranteed within 24 hours. We were able to provide a touchless water system to make it more COVID-friendly in terms of germs and touching the water system. One thing I always say is we're not selling a product, we're selling our service. That's what we really push for every single day, is to have a customer service experience like they've never had before.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection, or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
Here, I'm becoming who I want to be.
Here, I am looking toward my future.
Here, we learn from our failures so that we may soon succeed.
Here, we're passionate about learning and trying new things every day.
Here, we search for new perspectives and cultures so we can better understand the world.
Because at Darlington, we know we're in the most trusted hands.
As we discover new passions and learn more about ourselves through academics,
athletics,
fine arts,
and service to our community, we show our versatility as we choose different pathways to our goals.
This is our home.
We embrace challenges and persevere, even when something seems impossible.
We collaborate and create to take our place in the world.
We know that together we can make an impact.
This is our moment, our time.
Graduates today, Darlington forever.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-0040.
We're at Branch Bragg Field out here at Coosa High School, and we are super glad to have you with us here on the video stream, also the radio coverage that we have for you tonight. Before we jump into some scores, I do want to take an opportunity to acknowledge our sponsors on the radio side for helping us have the opportunity tonight to be here and bring you the audio of tonight's game. But Alan Murphy Appliance Center along with us tonight, Atrium Health Floyd, Avery Drugs, Embry Painting, just heard a spot from them. They painted my house not too long ago and did a fabulous job. So if you're looking for somebody to paint your house or business, you need to call them. Georgia Lottery, Georgia Northwestern Technical College, Harbin Clinic, Honeymoon Bakery, and the icing on the cake player of the game. We've got Riverside Auto Group, Rome Orthopedic Center, and also Ware Mechanical along with us tonight.
Heck yeah, we can't do it without you, so we appreciate your support.
Yep. So what you got, Ian?
All right. Are you ready for this?
First we'll tell you Darlington is up 28-0 at the half over the Coosa Eagles.
Yes, they are. A dominant performance in the first half there by the Tigers. So lots of big games in the area and the regions that all of our local teams play in. I do not have a score in the Hiram Dalton game. It is still reporting 0-0. So we're going to have to sweat that one out and wonder what's happening. In the one game we have a difference in. It's the and ladies and gentlemen, it's the first difference we've had in a month.
Yes.
So we're a little pumped up about that particular game. But here's one that actually doesn't shock me. I went back and forth on this game a lot. Me and you picked it the same. But Calhoun is up 17-0 at halftime over the Cartersville
Are you
Hurricanes.
serious?
I am
Wow.
very serious.
Unbelievable.
And I thought Calhoun was the more battle-tested team.
Yes.
Looking at the schedule, they've played some really, really good football teams. But right now, they're dominating the Hurricanes up there at the Reeve.
And it's weird because for me, like when I was picking that Cartersville game, I didn't come out and say this, but maybe alluded to a little bit. It's almost like you were picking on the reputation.
Yeah.
But why is that? They're playing Calhoun.
Right.
Both of those teams have a heck of a reputation.
And Calhoun beat them last year.
Yeah,
so it's not like the Yellow Jackets are scared. Not shocked by that. I really waffled on that one, but right now Calhoun in control of that. Hey, it's Cartersville. Anything can happen. They had some ridiculous comeback last year. So
it was 3 overtimes.
Yeah,
I think it was like 50-48 or something like that.
Yeah.
But
so we'll see what happens in the second half. Here's one I'm not surprised by, and John McClellan over there calling his games for the paper. You know, he picked Rockmart to win by 29. They're up 31-7 in the second quarter. Rome absolutely dominating Woodstock. They beat them 72-0 last year.
Something
they're
like
up,
that.
They're up 45-0 right now. In the Battle of the Indians, our Murchie is up 1 point, 14-13 over Chattooga. That's up at the Little Bighorn in Chattooga. And here's another one I was excited about as the Coosa band powers its way here with a beautiful crescendo.
And just so you know, I turned the crowd mic off completely, so everything you're getting from the band is through our mics, and the band is turned straight at us, and all the sounds coming right at the booth. It's powerful.
It is.
It really is.
About to get a clarinet solo.
Some kind of an Aladdin type thing going on here.
Yeah. An Arabian theme.
There you go.
Absolutely. So here's another big game.
Those kind of look like hammer pants, don't they?
They do. You should get some of those, Matt. It's pretty solid.
Maybe for Halloween. No, I doubt it.
Big game in the region here next. Tryon is up at Dade County. We watched this Dade County team last week. This is a good Dade County team.
Very physical team.
Very, very physical. 14-14 at the half.
You know, I'm somewhat surprised about that, but not really.
No, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked at all. We'll see how the second half goes, but they can control the ball, and if they don't turn the ball over, they're going to stay in games with that running game. And they pushed this Tiger team, but what I'm taking from this, and it'll be interesting to see how the second half plays out, but I think at this point we all know Tryon and Darlington are the front runners to win this region. How far apart are Tryon and Darlington? I think this is a good measuring stick here, so we'll see how that game plays out. But right now, tied at the half between Tryon and Dade County up there at Magic Morgan Stadium. All right, here it's 28-0. Another big game. Cedartown at Central. Carrollton. The Lions are 5-0. Cedartown's kind of struggled out of the gate, but found their footing lately. It's 14-14 at the half there as well. So a good ball game there. And then the Adairsville Tigers, who have been red hot, are up 34-0 over Lafayette in the second quarter. No surprise there. And the last score I have here of interest, Northwest Whitfield and Sonoraville. No score there either. So I just don't think anybody's reporting that, or the Dalton-Hiram game. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Hopefully the Butler boys can find some sources to get us scores on those games for the post-game scoreboard show.
And I'm glad you bring that up, Ian, because coming up at the end of tonight's action, as we do every week at the beginning of our post-game, which will be pretty brief tonight so we can get it over to the scoreboard show, we will have the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game, which we look forward to every week, even though it can be kind of stressful making that selection sometimes, because you get a great team effort from the Tigers. We're calling a lot of names tonight, as we often do.
We are, and there are a lot of guys in the running. Sammy Konchesky, Aiden Davis, Demarion Floyd, all have big first halves. So I'd say all those guys are in the running.
And then I'm pretty sure we know we have the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show coming up with Lynn and Austin. But I do believe I heard Clay from the Pepperell broadcast call in last week, and they got a bye week this week. So I do think that you'll see him make an appearance in the studio.
All right.
So you never know what's going to happen when Clay's in the building. That should be fun to listen to.
All right.
So looking forward to hearing
live radio,
those
baby.
guys. Oh, yeah, it is. Lynn, make sure to keep your finger on the button there, buddy. We appreciate you, man. Holding the fort down over there at WLAQ. Well, we are going to go ahead and take a break. Is that song from Seal?
Yeah. A Kiss from a Rose.
Yeah, Kiss from a
That's
Rose.
right.
Yeah.
If you are Matt and I's age, mid-40s, we'll admit it.
Yep.
You heard this song a lot, thanks to Batman Forever, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then if you watch, what is that show? America's Got Talent, I suppose. But at one point, Seal was married to Heidi Klum. So
Yes.
some of the younger people out there that don't know who Seal is know who that is from that television show. So anyway, we are going to go ahead and take a break. We're at the home of the Coosa Eagles, Branch Bragg Field here at Coosa High School, where the Darlington Tigers, well, let's just say it like it is. It's been all Tigers so far. They're up 28-0 at half. We're back in 4 minutes.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, Choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-0040.
At Darlington, we're proud to wear purple and white.
Because Tigers strive for greatness.
In the classroom and on the field.
We know that we can do anything, be anything,
achieve anything.
We're part of a program that is 100% dedicated to nourishing our minds and our bodies.
As teammates, we push each other further than we ever thought we could go.
Because every single one of us has something to contribute.
We practice hard so that when we compete, we can leave it all out on the field.
With each win, we build confidence.
With each loss is a lesson.
Our coaches teach us more than technique.
They prepare us to be good teammates,
friends,
and people.
We face adversity together
and push through to reach our goals.
We may struggle,
but we will never give up.
Because today,
tomorrow, forever.
We're Darlington Tigers.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
My name is Ryan Somerville. I am the sales manager for Business Water Solutions. We do water purification coolers as well as ice machines for any size business. We're on campus right now at Darlington School. Super happy to be here. They're one of our biggest customers. I myself played sports here. Our two founders played sports here. It was absolutely our pleasure to be a sponsor for Darlington Athletics. I think one thing that really sets us apart is our water purification. There's 13 stages. The reverse osmosis part of it has been a huge part of our success, along with our 24-hour guarantee for service calls. So when a customer does call us, we're then guaranteed within 24 hours. We were able to provide a touchless water system to make it more COVID-friendly in terms of germs and touching the water system. One thing I always say is we're not selling a product, we're selling our service. That's what we really push for every single day, is to have a customer service experience like they've never had before.
Over the Coosa Eagles. We'll give you an update on the Atlanta Braves game because we are Rome Station, a local affiliate of the Atlanta Braves. Obviously don't have the game on the air tonight, but we'll have the remainder of the series against the Nationals coming up tomorrow and Sunday for you right here on WLAQ. But a quick update for you. The Nationals have come back and they're ahead of the Braves 4-2. And after if they score another, 4 or 5 runs and get a 5 or 6 run lead, then the Braves will have them right where they want them, won't they? And
based on what we saw in games 1 and 2 of the Cubs series, that's exactly where they want them. They almost let a lead wither away last night just to make it exciting, but we'll see. Last night, most importantly, the Braves locked down home field for the entire playoffs?
Absolutely. Yeah. The magic number yesterday was 1. They won the game, and so they have home field advantage for the entire playoffs for the National League, and then if they make it to the World Series, 100%. And I believe I heard something the other day about how it'd been like 20 years or something like that since the Braves had the #1 seed, which kind of shocked me.
Yeah.
May want to check me on that, but I'm pretty sure I heard him say that on the Braves broadcast the other day.
Well,
but,
it has been a remarkable season. No home runs tonight, and they do need a few more home runs to break the all-time record for most home runs by a team in a season. I think they're 4 off the record set by the Twins, so 5 would put us over the top. Only a few games left, but boy, they can hit them.
Of course, a couple of records have already happened this week. Ronald Acuna, the sole member of the 40-70 club. Matt Olson set the new single-season Braves franchise record of 136 RBI yesterday. He got that surpassed. Hall of Famer Eddie Matthews, a record that stood for a long time, and he currently leads the Major League Baseball teams in both home runs and RBI. And then, as you mentioned, the magic number down to 0. And then coming up this weekend, Spencer Strider, he pitches tomorrow and is 3 strikeouts away from beating the 276 mark set by Smoltz back in 1996. He's averaged just short of 9 a game, so I would say that the likelihood of him doing that is pretty good.
Yeah.
So you may see some more history coming up.
Goodness.
And not to be Debbie Downer or anything like that, but once you get to the end of the season, if the Braves have a short stay in the playoffs like happened last year, how much do you think all those records – I mean,
really
they matter, but it's one of those things that the biggest thing that matters is what you do once you get into the playoffs. And again, I'm not taking away from any of that kind of stuff, but I know that they enjoy the records and all that kind of stuff, but the focus is on getting out there and doing well in the playoffs. And a lot of these things lead to the success that they've had in terms of scoring runs and all those sorts of things. So
No,
anyway.
We've been saying this since midway through the season. It's World Series or bust this season. If they don't at least make the World Series, win the National League, and have a chance to bring home all the glory, it's going to feel like a bust. And I really think if they don't win the World Series, some people will feel like it's a bust. This is a fantastic baseball team, but playoff baseball is on the next level. It is not easy. I don't care how good you are in the regular season. It's going to be a grind. What I like about this team is that they never are out of a ball game.
No, they were down 6-0 in the 6th inning against the Cubs in the first game of that series and came back and won the ball game.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, how many times have you seen a team where they're down like that and you're packing up your stuff and going home if you're at the ball game? But with this team, you don't want to lead no matter what the lead is the other team has, because Braves have always got a shot to score those runs and get back in the game.
Yes, they do. So that'll be exciting to watch, Matt. And we've got some big games on the docket in college football this weekend, too. What are you looking forward to?
Oh, my goodness. I'm looking forward to the Notre Dame-Duke game.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how Notre Dame does after the tough loss they took to Ohio State at home last week. That was disappointing for me. I know you were elated from it.
I can't say I'll ever be elated by a Buckeyes win, because if a hole had just opened up in the middle of that stadium and swallowed both Ohio State and Notre Dame, I wouldn't have complained. But I did pick Ohio State to win. So.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, I look forward to Georgia and Auburn. I'm not sure what kind of a game that's going to be, but it is a traditional game, and that could be changing here in the coming years, which is kind of interesting as we move forward.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, no doubt about it. So, Georgia and Auburn fans need to savor the fact that they're playing this year, because it's not going to be an annual rivalry anymore.
I enjoyed watching Jacksonville State win. That's my alma mater. Of course, Georgia Tech plays Bowling Green tomorrow. Who else is on the docket?
Well, you've got after Prime Fever was cooled off just a little bit last week by the Oregon Ducks and Dan Lanning's bunch. They take on USC, and USC does not have the defense the Ducks have, so it'll be interesting to see how Prime's bunch bounces back. I think that Derek Hunter is going to play tomorrow, perhaps, too, so there's a chance he could see the field. So the big noon kickoff will be out there. I'll be keeping my eye on my Gators playing Kentucky at noon. There's some other really good games as well. But that Duke-Notre Dame game, I'm really interested. Duke was dominant in that opener against Clemson and has wiped the floor with the other 3 teams they've played so far this season. And Wade Wallace only holds 41,000, but we all know that the Dukies, they can make some noise.
Oh, there's no doubt. We saw that at the beginning of the season, so that's going to be a lot of fun to see. And then, of course, coming up on Sunday, you can get up and have breakfast and watch the Falcons across the pond over there playing in London against the Jaguars, and crazy stuff happens when teams fly over there and play.
That's true.
The variables are a bit different over there, so it's going to be interesting to see how all that shakes out.
French toast and Falcons. That's what we're doing Sunday morning for sure.
So hopefully you're able to keep the French toast down and aren't sickened by what you see on the field. You never know. I mean, they've started off, the first two games were pretty good, but last week was kind of a stinker against the Lions.
I think the Lions are a really good football team, though. They absolutely dominated Green Bay for the most part last night. I don't know if you watched that game. I think Detroit has a great defense, and they were able to take the run away, and that puts the onus on Desmond Ridder. And let's just face it, I'm not sure that's the guy that's going to be able to put a club on his shoulders. We'll see.
Well, I tell you what, I sure am enjoying listening to War Pigs from Black Sabbath playing very, very loud over the PA. So we're going to go ahead and take a break and jam out to the songs just a little bit, but we're glad to have you with us. We are at Branch Bragg Field out here at Coosa High School. Darlington on top, 28-0 over the Coosa Eagles. They will get the ball to start the second half. Let's go ahead and step out for a 4-minute timeout on WLAQ, and then we'll be back for the start of the second half.
My name is Ryan Somerville. I am the sales manager for Business Water Solutions. We do water purification coolers as well as ice machines for any size business. We're on campus right now at Darlington School. Super happy to be here. They're one of our biggest customers. I myself played sports here. Our two founders played sports here. It was absolutely our pleasure to be a sponsor for Darlington Athletics. I think one thing that really sets us apart is our water purification. There's 13 stages. The reverse osmosis part of it has been a huge part of our success, along with our 24-hour guarantee for service calls. So when a customer does call us, we're guaranteed within 24 hours. We were able to provide a touchless water system to make it more COVID-friendly in terms of germs and touching the water system. One thing I always say is we're not selling a product, we're selling our service. That's what we really push for every single day, is to have a customer service experience like they've never had before.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection, or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
Here, I'm becoming who I want to be.
Here, I am looking toward my future.
Here, we learn from our failures so that we may soon succeed.
Here, we're passionate about learning and trying new things every day.
Here, we search for new perspectives and cultures so we can better understand the world.
Because at Darlington, we know we're in the most trusted hands.
As we discover new passions and learn more about ourselves through academics,
athletics,
fine arts,
and service to our community, we show our versatility as we choose different pathways to our goals.
This is our home.
We embrace challenges and persevere, even when something seems impossible.
We collaborate and create to take our place in the world.
We know that together we can make an impact.
This is our moment, our time.
Graduates today, Darlington forever.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-0040.
Well, both teams back out on the field, going to have their warm-up period here as we get ready for the start of the second half here from Coosa High School, with the Darlington Tigers leading at 28-0. Will receive the opening kickoff of the second half, and you're listening to high school football on WLAQ. Also, you'll be watching tonight on the Darlington School live stream on their YouTube channel. However you're with us tonight, we're just glad you're with us tonight, because there's no place that we'd rather be on a Friday night than hanging out with the Darlington Tigers, watching some football.
Heck yeah, and it has been a good night for the Tigers. They'll come out with a 28-0 lead and see if they can put up more points. And to the fans who are here in attendance, to their delight, they've watched the Tigers offense light it up today.
Now, as far as next week is concerned, the Darlington Tigers will get ready for their third region game of the season. Hopefully be 2-0 at that point in region play. It'll be the 7th game of the regular season, if you can believe it. It's hard to believe that this is the 6th game of the regular season we're watching here tonight. This thing is just clipping by.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It is. It's rolling right along, and it'll be a big one against Chattooga. And the rest of the season, Darlington flip-flops. It's road and home.
That's right. You will have Chattooga at home next week. The following week on the 13th, we'll be down there at Lindale at Lynn Honeycutt Field at Pepperell High School. Then on the 20th, it'll be over at Chris Hunter Stadium to face Almerchie, the Red Hot Indians. And then there'll be a bye week, and then the very last week of the season, what could end up being for the region championship. We'll see what happens. There may be a couple other teams that have something to say about that, but the Darlington Tigers will go on the road for that last game of the year and play up at Sam R. McCain. And guess who's going to Sam R. McCain next week? The Coosa Eagles.
Yeah, that's
so,
right.
Boy, they have got tough couple of matchups this week and then coming up next week as well.
Absolute gauntlet. And I've got a couple of score updates. One of personal interest to me and Matt. Dalton leads Hiram by 10 at halftime, 24-14.
Long way to go. Long way to go.
And then Chattooga is up at halftime on Armerchie, which is a little surprising to me. Armerchie's been playing so well, but that one is on the road. It's a tough place to play up there. It's 20-14 at the half. Chattooga leading Armerchie. And Matt, I have a score on the Sonoraville Northwest game. Sonoraville is up 20-0 in the second quarter, so the Bruins have them right where they want them.
Perhaps so, because wasn't it North Murray that had, a 28-0 lead or something like that, and then Northwest Whitfield came back and won that game. So they're never down for the count for sure.
No, absolutely not. They are going to be ready to roll, and I won't be surprised if they come back and make that one interesting. But Sonoraville's a solid team. I mean, they beat these Darlington Tigers, had a heck of a third quarter that really was the difference in that ball game. And Northwest also was able to hold off the Tigers just a few weeks ago.
All right, well, we are just about ready to go as time has expired for the warm-up period, and both teams making their way out onto the playing surface here at Coosa High School, and we will get ready to resume play. Give you another quick update on the Braves before we get this thing kicked off here for the second half. I saw the Braves scored a run just a few moments ago, but the Nationals lead it, but only by one run now as the Braves scored a run, and now it's 4-3 in the bottom of the fifth inning. So
how'd they get that run, man?
I think Rosario drove it in, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But the Braves play the Nationals tomorrow at 7:20. Pregame on WLAQ's at 6:05. And then on Sunday, the game time has been moved. It's now 3:05 with pregame at 1:50. So if you want to listen to the Braves Radio Network, to me, there's just nothing like listening to baseball on the radio.
No, it's storytelling at its finest, Matt. The good ones are something else. You guys, old JB that used to call the Rome Braves games for you, was he was just amazing. Love listening to him.
He would crack me up sometimes. I'll tell you a quick story in a minute, but here's kickoff. Reyes puts the boot on it. That's going to be end over end. Shirey is going to grab it right into his hands. He'll cut up towards the far side of the field, turns, cuts up field, is now across the 20, and he dives forward and gets out to about the 28, but a flag comes in.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That would be it's coming from the official on the far side away from the play.
Braves just tied it, by the way, 4-4. I'm not sure what happened, but my mom sent me a text to let me know. So thanks for the help.
Here I am. We're talking about records don't matter, and I'm hoping every run they score is a home run. Come on.
I wasn't saying they don't matter, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I agreed with your point.
Yeah.
Yeah. What matters more? Championship or records? Championships, without a doubt. And there was a block in the back.
All right.
So that's going to back them all the way back to the 19-yard line is where the Tigers will start their first drive of the second half.
So the Tigers trot the offense out onto the field, and we're ready to go. Going to have two wide receivers on the near side. And we get ready for the snap here to start the half. Going to turn, hand it off, and going up the middle of the field, it's going to be Demarion Floyd. It's going to be a foot race. He's across the 50, down to the 40, the 30, now to the 20, and he is going to float into the end zone on air, baby. Another touchdown for the Darlington Tigers. A big-time play there for the Tigers. What was that, 82 yards?
81 or 82, yeah. Yep. And Floyd started slow. He was at -9 after 2 carries. But after that, I had him at 92 yards in the first half on 6 carries, or 8 carries. Now he tacks on that 81-yarder, and he has got his 3rd touchdown of the game. And he wants some cupcakes, Matt.
I believe he does. A.D. Salas on for the extra point, and he remains perfect as the score moves to 35-0. That happened rather quickly.
Yeah. One play, 81-yard strike, and Darlington has tacked on another touchdown and an extra point. They lead 35-0. And is it 40 points where things go to a running clock?
I think it's over 30.
Okay.
Unless I'm badly mistaken.
The coaches have to agree on that, though. So we'll see if they move to a running clock here in the second half.
So 11:39 left to go in the ball game. First play from scrimmage, a 82-yard play for D-Man Floyd into the end zone, and now the lead is 35-0.
Beautiful night here at Branch Bragg Field. At the, how old is the new Coosa High School? Beautiful facility they built out here.
I'm not really sure. I'm at that point in my life where everything just runs together. I'd probably say a few years, and I'd find out it was 8 years ago, you know. DeSalis ready to put the boot on it and kick it back to the Coosa Eagles. They'll get their first possession of the second half of the ball game. Here's the kick. That one's going to be end over end, and it'll be fielded and brought out by Hammock, and he goes off to the far side, is wrapped up and brought down at the 24. Gets stopped by Miles Twyman.
Yes, sir. Well, Demarion Floyd is making it easy right now. At the half, there was a lot of questions, but after that 81-yard trot down the field, he's had himself quite the ball game.
Indeed. So the Eagles will come back to the line of scrimmage here, and 3 flags on the field.
Yeah, I'd say somebody did something wrong.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Oh, on Darlington.
On Darlington Tigers. And also on Coosa. Those are offsetting, it looks like.
Okay. So the ball will stay right where it is.
So Coosa will take over.
And the moon has risen high above the stadium now. Now we have a lovely view. And I believe it was a crescent waning or waxing. Do you remember?
Well, it's full, but it's about to be waning, I believe.
Okay, that full moon, but it's waning, man.
Okay, what does that mean? Wide receivers on each side. Quarterback under center. Wofford takes a snap, and he's going to hand it off. There's nothing there.
They have shut down most of the running lanes up the middle tonight. We've seen Harrison East get loose once or twice, and then Josh Sean Turner had one really big run in the first half. But for the most part, this defensive front from the Tigers has really shut things down.
So the Eagles are going to send 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 on the far side. Warford is going to line them up in a pistol look this time. We'll get ready for the snap. He takes it. He drops back, is going to run the football and bounces off a defender, and they're going to haul him in after a short gain of about 2 or 3 yards. Good effort there by Warford.
Yeah, it was a design draw there for Warford, and he made a few Tigers miss, but at the end of the day, he just picked up a couple of yards at most, and that'll set up another 3rd and long, which is where the Eagles have been operating most of the night.
So the Eagles back to the line of scrimmage now with 3rd and 6. Paul is at the 29. 3 wide receivers.
You still laughing about the moon over there?
I am. Yeah. Quarterback's rolling out. He rolls to his right, puts the ball in the air, and that's going to be incomplete.
And it'll be a 3-and-out to start the second half for the Eagles. There is a flag on the field, though. Let's see what the call is. An eligible receiver on Coosa. Darlington will decline. And it's punting time.
Indeed it is. So Coosa's punter will be back out on the field here in just a moment. We'll kick it back to the red-hot Darlington Tigers, who have scored 35 points in this ball game, and we are barely 2 minutes in to the start of the second half. So Reyes will trot out on the field.
We may see some fresh faces. You got your Darlington roster handy?
Yeah, but not yet. We've got Talon Shirey, who's standing in the middle of the field at about the 40, and then on the other side, beyond the far hash, is going to be Demarion Floyd. And here comes the kick from Reyes. That's going to be end over end, floats down behind Demarion Floyd. He'll chase it down. Man chasing after him. He'll field it, turn, and start to cut up field. Points for a block, gets one, and then gets dropped and just hammered at the 25-yard line. That looked like wrestling there for a second, didn't it?
It did. It did. That one got away from Floyd. I couldn't tell if he touched it or not, but he did the right thing by securing the ball first and then was able to get back upfield and pick up some positive yards. Where'd they mark that? Right at the 25?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm running out of room on my drive sheets.
I am too, and I knew I was forgetting something when I left the station today, and the last thing I had on my list of things to do was print more drive sheets. So we're working with what we got. We may have to write on some of the other sheets in a minute, but 2 wide receivers to the near side, and rolling out to pass is going to be the quarterback, who now into the game, by the way, is Luke Parker. So we've had a quarterback change here for the second half for the Tigers.
Yeah, some valuable reps here for Parker, who has come in some big moments already this season. He's got a heck of an arm. That's a tough throw, man. Trying to throw to the sideline back across your body like that when you're on the roll.
So incomplete, bringing up 2nd and 10 here for the Tigers, still at their own 25, working right to left, leading at 35-0 with 9:55 left to go here in the third quarter of the game. They're going to line up with everybody in tight except for 2 wide receivers on the near side. There's the snap, going to fake the handoff. Quarterback's going to run it, found a big seam. He's up and has a first down. It was about a 12-yard run.
Yeah, nice run there. Nice keep by Parker as he pulled that one from Twyman as the end crashed down. Well executed read option.
And one of the areas that I think the Tigers are really blessed at is they do have some depth at the quarterback position with Sammy Konchesky, the starting quarterback, and then Parker is a very, very solid option there at that position. 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side. Parker turns. He hands it off to Miles Twyman, who gets a seam and breaks a couple of tackles, gets about 15 yards on the play, and they haul him in. What a hard run from Miles Twyman.
Yeah, and we've seen that all year from Miles Twyman. You know, he really had to step up in that Sonoraville game with Floyd out. He was a little banged up. His knee was hurting him, and Twyman stepped in and carried the load in that game, and has really made the most of his time on the field. He does an excellent job in special teams coverage. That's something Coach Groves points out a lot, making a lot of tackles on kickoff coverage.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Now they've got it at the Coosa 46, working right to left. 2 wide receivers. Sammy Konchesky was getting ready to take the snap, but a flag came in. Braves lead at 6-5, by the way, in the top of the 6th.
Heck yeah, it's going to be a false start there on the Darlington Tigers. I'll back them up to 1st and 15.
You know, a couple of names we haven't called tonight because they were injured in last week's game. Sam Wooten, he's over on the sidelines, as well as Hendricks Jones.
Yeah, and Hendricks Jones was injured on the opening kickoff, and Sam Wooten was injured on a crucial 4th down play, picking up a first down.
2 wide receivers on the far side, shotgun formation as Parker gets ready to take the snap. Some movement up front, no flag. 8:30 left to go here in the third quarter. Parker takes the snap. He turns, is going to hand it off to Twyman, who cuts towards the near side and dives forward. Gets about maybe 5 or 6 yards there on that play. Another hard run.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice pickup there. Got the penalty yardage back and about 3 more, so that'll set up 2nd and 7.
So now the ball is going to be at the 44-yard line of the Coosa Eagles. Shotgun formation, 2 wide set on the far side for the Tigers. Parker takes the snap, rolls to his right, looking to throw. Ball's in the air, connects with wide receiver, and he is going to have it just short of the first down. It looks like he dove towards the end of the play. That was Aiden Davis making another nice grab. He's had a really good game. Oh, he moves the chains.
That's his 5th catch, 68 yards and a touchdown tonight. So, yeah, Aiden Davis has had himself a heck of a ball game.
So the ball is now at the 35-yard line on Coosa's side of the field. Darlington with the ball. 7:28 left to go. 1st and 10 Tigers. 2 wide receivers. There's the snap. Fakes the handoff and is looking to throw downfield. Puts it in the air, and that is going to sail over everybody's head, incomplete.
Yeah, just a little too much mustard on that one. And
offensive pass interference against.
Oh, wow. Well, that'll back the Tigers up.
So offensive pass interference against the Darlington Tigers.
Interesting. Who'd they call that on?
I don't know. I was going to see if we could see that on the replay. Right now they're marching on.
I was having a moment there, man. I'm sorry. I missed the replay.
Second down. 2nd and 25.
A middle-aged moment? Can't say senior moment yet.
No, yeah, middle-aged moment, or just maybe I was using good judgment. I don't know. I'll have to fill you in later.
Well, the Tigers are at midfield now. 1st down. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off. Miles Twyman's got it.
Wow.
Stays up. He breaks through. Carries a couple of guys with him. He was close to the 1st down. It's going to be a little bit short, but what a hard runner.
I mean,
he carried 2 guys, about 3 or 4 yards?
Well, he also made 2 unbelievable little cuts, like little stop cuts that he made in the backfield there. He was hemmed up and ends up getting 14 yards when it looked like he wasn't going to get anything. So Miles Twyman continues to impress. Just a hard-nosed runner.
So the Tigers back to the line of scrimmage now. This brings up 2nd and 11. Shotgun formation. Dropping back is Parker, looking to throw. Puts it in the air. It's going to be nearly caught by Aiden Davis, but I think he turned a little bit too soon there before he had secured the ball, and it goes out of bounds off his hands.
Yeah, that one was on the money. Davis just didn't look that one in. He's had a good game tonight, but he definitely dropped that one, and he'll shake it off and move on to the next play.
So this is 3rd down and 11 for the Tigers. They've gotten some yards, but there was the penalty that backed them up so far. I'd forgotten about that for a second. 4 wide receivers. Parker drops back, looking to throw, and finds a receiver that's open, and it goes over his head out of bounds.
And Parker just hadn't really found his rhythm yet. He's made some good passes, but he's had some that have sailed on him as well.
Intended receiver there was Jake Trebus. That brings up 4th and 11. Offense remains on the field here, where they are on the field.
Yeah, you're in no man's land, so here comes the 4th down attempt for the Tigers.
So 4th and 11 from the 36-yard line. Here's the snap to Parker. He'll drop back, has a pretty clean pocket here, puts the ball in the air, and he connects with the wide receiver, makes the grab. That was Jake Trebus, who was thrown to in the previous play, and he gets a 1st down, has it in the red zone at the 14.
I think Parker stuck that one in his pads. He had so much velocity on that ball. Good job by Trebus to handle that one, but I think that one was embedded in his chest. Heck of a throw, heck of a catch. 1st down Tigers.
So the ball is actually at the 13, so 1st and 10 here from the red zone. Tigers threatening again here with 6:02 remaining here in the 3rd quarter of the ball game. They're going to have Twyman in the backfield with Parker in a 3-wide set. There's the snap, the turn, the handoff to Miles. He's got a seam, stays up. He's inside the 5, twists around and into the end zone. A 13-yard run from Miles Twyman, and the Tigers strike yet again. Wow.
You cannot arm tackle Miles Twyman. The man is not going to go down easy. You better secure him and get him to the ground. He just keeps driving those legs and wiggling his way. He's really bulked up this season, but he's also got some shake to the bake. I mean, he's had a heck of a year, and with D-Man being a senior, it's good to know that running back position is in good hands for the next few years, because Miles Twyman is coming of age.
He is having an unbelievable season. We got a man down on the field here for the Coosa Eagles. trainers out, a couple of coaches having a look at that young man, and certainly we hope he's okay.
Yeah, I didn't catch a number, Matt.
I didn't either, but they're 10-10 right now. I think it was East.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's the heart and soul of this team.
Yep,
He's had a whale of a game. He's up and walking off under his own power, so that's good to see.
So the Darlington Tigers leading this one now 41-0 on the road here at Branch Bragg Field. They'll get lined up, try to tack on the extra point. Ade DeSalis has been perfect with his extra points here in this football game.
He has.
It's been a great performance from the Tigers.
It has. I mean, it's hard to find anything to harp on. I'm sure Coach Groves will point out a lot to us, though, next week.
Oh, yeah. Coaches can always find stuff to work on and try to keep that team playing with an edge, which they have done tonight. Kick is on the way, and that one is going to be through, and Ade remains perfect on his extra point attempts.
7 for 7 tonight.
That's something else.
Absolutely. Those extra points are important. We've seen that throughout this season. You know, we had that really odd situation in the opener against Christian Academy of Knoxville where they went for 2 every time, and I think they went 0 for 5 on 2-point conversion. Didn't they go for 2 every time, and the Tigers stopped it every time?
Yeah, I think every time. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, Matt, you said you got a short drive home. This is
long.
It's a long one for me when it comes to the Floyd County games, but I do pass Del Taco. And I'm not going to pass Del Taco. I hadn't had dinner tonight. That's where I'm stopping. It's quick. It's good.
It's probably a Chef Boyardee kind of a night for me, man. I'm breaking out the mini raviolis when I get home.
Low cheerwine
come down to that. I'm not driving I live 3 miles from here. If I drove back there, I'd make it a 20-mile trip, basically.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I got to eat what I got. But that does sound good. It is a little tempting now that you mention it. DeSalis puts the boot on it. That's going to be end over end, drops in. Hammock's going to bring it out from the 10. He will cut up towards the middle of the field. Great spin move, and he is going to get down to about the 30. Was that Hammock or was that
Xander
Sledge? It was Xander Sledge. I thought I
yeah.
saw a different number that time. Xander Sledge with a good return.
We're going to have to grab our rosters the rest of the way here, Matt. It is 42-0, but the clock is not going to run, so I guess there was not an agreement there.
First and 10 Eagles at the 32.
So the Eagles will start at their own 32-yard line after the good return there. And they're going to have 2 wide on the near side, 1 on the far side. Still in at quarterback is going to be Warford here for the Eagles. First and 10, they get ready to snap the ball. Warford turns. He's going to try to throw a screen pass, and it's going to be incomplete to number 9. And that is Joshawn Turner.
And Matt, Cartersville has scored. It is 17-7.
Okay.
So the Hurricanes are not rolling over in Calhoun in what is a televised game and one that I'm sure many have their eyes on.
So the Eagles will go back to the line of scrimmage. 5:36 left to go here in the quarter. Third quarter of the football game with Darlington leading at 42-0. 2 wide receiver set. Ball is on the turf and it's picked up by the Darlington Tigers. We'll make sure to catch the number, let you know who fell on that ball. I'm screened right now, can't see it. But, number 55 or 56?
I think it was 55.
Connor Ellison.
Yep, and that was just a muffed exchange there between the quarterback and receiver who was coming over on the jet sweep. And the Darlington Tigers will take over in scoring position here with 5:32 left in the game. See if they can tack on some more points. And now we're really seeing some fresh faces out there.
We're in the third quarter still, aren't we?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
I thought you just said in the game. I was like, I got confused.
Jaron Payne's in at tight end.
2 wide receivers, 1 on each side, shotgun formation. Parker, that a snap over his shoulder, and a flag came in.
Fresh faces and a penalty.
Nationals are up over the Braves now 7-6 on the top of the 6th.
What a back and forth game, yeah. Braves fans are keeping it, or the Braves are keeping the fans entertained and on their toes.
Yeah, that's one of the concerns you have going into the playoffs is the pitching staff's a little bit banged up. That always makes you a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
But 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side. Parker, that one snapped over his shoulder again off to the right side, and he tries to fall on it. Chasing it down was East, but Parker was able to cover, but they're going to take a huge loss on that for a second.
And I think that Darlington brought in a new center, and both snaps have gone, and that will bring Jack Chandler right back out onto the field. So that does explain you had the procedure penalty and 2 errant snaps, so Chandler comes back out.
So the ball is back at the 50-yard line, 2nd and 32 for the Tigers with 5 minutes and the clock running right now here in the 3rd quarter of the football game. Here's the snap. They'll turn, fake the handoff. Quarterback's going to run off to the right side, tries to spin around. That flag comes in.
Yeah, and that's probably a hold. Yep. If they take it, and they will, nope, they're going to decline. So that puts them in 3rd and 32. Is that correct?
Yeah,
3rd and 32. Hand it to Twyman. He'll just bulldoze everybody in his way and pick it up, or take a shot. Parker's certainly shown he can throw the ball a country mile.
Oh, he's got an arm. He's got a very live arm. So the Tigers back to the line of scrimmage with 3rd and 32. Ball is just beyond midfield in Eagles territory. There's the snap to Parker. He is going to drop back and potentially take a shot. He's got company, though. Puts the ball in the air, and it's caught. What a grab there by
or is that Trebus?
Jake Trebus.
Jake Trebus,
Yep.
yeah.
Trebus makes the grab inside the 20 at around the 16-yard line, and now the Tigers have first.
That's Jaron Payne. Yeah, Trebus is on the other side. That 9 is tucked up under there. So
okay. Yeah, that happens to me about once or twice a week. It seems like it gets bunched up, and it looks like an 8 to me.
Yeah. So Jaron Payne with the catch, and they pick up a first down on 3rd and 32. Some nights it just goes your way.
Yes, it does, and it has been all Tigers' way tonight. They've been having their way. 42-0. And there's the snap. Parker turns, is going to hand it off to Miles Twyman, and he is going to be brought down at the 15. The seam closed up on him pretty quickly there.
Did Ezekiel Ellis made the tackle. He made sure to drive Twyman to the ground. You really have to make sure you get him down. He just keeps on chugging.
So 3:27 on the clock, 2nd and 9 here for the Tigers. They come back to the line of scrimmage with wide receivers on each side. The one on the left side is going to be Jace Donaldson. We get ready for Parker to take the snap. He's got it, turns, hands it off to Miles Twyman, and he cuts off towards the near side. A couple of guys, took 4 guys to bring him down.
Yeah. Not going down easy. And I believe Jace Donaldson was one of the black shirts, scout team black shirt?
He was,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And if our listeners aren't familiar with that, the black shirt awards go out every week from the Darlington coaching staff, and they give it to an offensive, defensive player, special teams, and then a scout team player, correct?
I believe that is correct. And didn't Coach tell us that he's related to Ray Donaldson somehow?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So 2 wide receivers on the far side for the Tigers here on 3rd and 9. Ball is at the 14-yard line in the red zone. Here's the snap to Parker. He'll turn, go in play action, puts the ball in the air, and that's going to be incomplete. And it was intended for Bodie Powers.
He was open.
Yep.
The ball was just behind him there. And we may get to see Ade come out and swing his leg at about a 35-yard field goal. Let's see.
20. Well,
it'll be a 30, about a 30-yarder. See where they mark the tee.
Yeah.
31-yard attempt from the left hash.
Ade DeSalison, he's been perfect from extra points. Can he add to his totals with, as you pointed out, a 31-yard field goal? And we're going to see the attempt here in just a couple of moments. We get ready for the snap. The hold looks good. Kick is on the way. He's got plenty of leg, but it's going to be wide to the left.
Yeah.
And that is going to be no good. Score remains 42-0 with 2:24 left to go.
Even with the miss, plenty of leg there from DeSalis, and it's good to get out there and get those attempts in. You've got to drive the ball a little differently than you do on an extra point when you're kicking from distance, and he certainly has the leg strength to get it there.
Indeed he does.
And I was talking with Jason Payne before the game, and I was saying DeSalis he's probably got the strongest leg since Brinson Sumner was kicking for the Tigers. Now that said, Rylan Scott was an accurate kicker who made some big plays for the Tigers as well over the past few seasons.
Yeah, the Tigers have definitely been blessed in special teams and kickers over the years. No question about it. Going to have 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 on the far side. Under center is going to be their quarterback, who is Warford. He takes the snap. We got a flag that comes in immediately.
We sure do.
That's going to be a false start against the Eagles. Will back them up 5 yards right out of the gate.
Penalties against Coosa, back them up 5.
So that'll back them up to the 15-yard line. Setting up 1st and 15 here for the Eagles, down 42-0 at home. We're still in the third quarter, 2:22 left to go in this quarter.
That we are. Matt, are you sad we're not going to pass Buc-ee's the rest of the season?
I think I'm going there tomorrow. So, no, I'm not. 2 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far, and I'm not kidding. They're going to throw it to the near side, connect with a wide receiver. That's going to be Lamarian Millsap.
Ball came loose.
And the Darlington Tigers have it.
Wow.
Wow.
So turnovers on the last 2 possessions now. After a turnover-free football game, we've had fumbles on the last 2 Eagles possessions. And Darlington's right back in the red zone.
The 18-yard line. So the Tigers at the Coosa 18 with 2:09 left to go in the third quarter, already up 42-0. So the stats are going to look a little bit different when we look at the averages coming up next week because of this game.
Matt, got again some fresh faces out here. Big time experience, though. This is what you need.
2 wide receivers on each side of the formation. Parker in at quarterback's got Miles Twyman in the backfield with him. The snap is going to be handled, and he hands it off to Miles Twyman, who gets tripped up at about the 16 after a 3-yard gain.
That was a hot snap once again. Parker handled that one and handed it off to Twyman. They end up getting about 3 or 4 yards.
So that brings up 2nd and 8 here for the Darlington Tigers with 1:49 and the clock ticking here in this third quarter. They come back to the line of scrimmage at 16. Parker lines him up in the gun with 2 wide on the far side, 1 on the near. Turns, is going to hand it off to Miles Twyman, and he gets wrapped up and brought to the turf after a short gain of maybe 2 yards.
And these last 2 carries, the Coosa defensive line is winning the battle up front a little bit and not giving Twyman a chance to get that motor running. But it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Tigers here at the 14-yard line.
It'll be a college game starting. Well, it started about half an hour ago, right?
Yeah, Louisville and NC State are already playing. You've got Utah and Oregon State.
Oregon State's up 7-0.
Let's go, Beavers. Let's go, baby.
Uiagalelei, however you say it. There's the snap to Parker. He is in trouble. Ball came out, but he was able to cover.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a loss of about 6-7 yards.
Yep. Yeah, again, a little trouble with the snap there. That'll set up 4th down, and will we see DeSalis come back out and take another swing at it?
We will see. 41 seconds left on the clock here remains in the third quarter.
4th and 12.
Coach Groves making the decision here. He is going to send out the special teams. So see the play clock.
I know, that's what I was literally just looking for. I don't see one.
Yeah. We've got only 12 seconds left in the quarter here. Oh, nope. Delay a game.
Okay.
Delay a game again.
I don't see where you're supposed to see the play clock.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked all over for it. I don't see it on either side here.
We're going to back him up. Let him swing that bad boy anyway. What do you have to lose here? I mean, even if it gets blocked, you've got a 42-point lead. Yeah.
So what is this going to be, a 42-yard attempt?
42 yards.
42 yards. So a 42-yard attempt coming up here for Ade DeSalis. from the near hash. Here's the snap. Kick is on the way, and that one is going to be no good.
I think he had enough leg, just wide left again.
No good.
So that's going to be the end of the third quarter. Darlington Tigers are going to own a 42-0 lead as we get ready for the final quarter of this football game. Let's step out for a 1-minute timeout.
Everybody have a safe ride home. Good night.
Well, welcome back in, Darlington Tigers fans. 42-0, the Tigers lead as we go into the fourth quarter here. This is the final frame. And the Darlington Tigers, no doubt, are going to start region play 2-0, which is awesome. But we've got 12 more minutes to go with the clock running. Coosa Eagles are going to line up. 1st and 10, there's the snap. They're going to hand the ball off.
Here's a Turner at the middle.
Just a few yards there. A lot of fresh white jerseys out there for the Tigers. Got a few familiar faces, but for the most part, some young players getting some very valuable reps here in the fourth quarter.
So 2nd and 7 now for the Eagles with the ball at the 22-yard line after a short gain there. They will line up, send 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 on the far side. Quarterback Warford is under center. He's going to drop back, is looking to throw, puts it up the middle of the field, and it was almost intercepted.
Yeah, receiver got his hands on it, but
Lamarian Millsap was the receiver. Couldn't haul it in. Pops out as he goes to the ground.
Lamarian Millsap falls incomplete.
I'll tell you what, Matt. Warford doesn't throw a soft pass. He fires everything in there with everything he's got.
Mm-hmm. Going to send 2 wide receivers to the near side this time, 1 on the far. Millsap under center. He's going to hand the ball. No, he's going to run the football. Stays up, gets a good run going. He is now out to about the 40-yard line. They get a first down. That was a good run there by Warford.
Yeah, nice wiggle there as he cut it to the outside and then back towards the middle of the field to pick up the first down.
1st and 10, Coosa.
So 1st and 10, Coosa from their own 40. We got 10 minutes and the clock rolling here in this final quarter.
And you know, even with backup players in the game, the Tigers would love to preserve the shutout.
Oh, indeed. And they've pitched one already this season. That was up at Christian Heritage, first road trip of the year. Here's the snap, a pitch to the left, and they're going to cut towards the near side. That's Joshawn Turner. He's got some green grass, breaks a couple of tackles, carries the pile inside the 30. Another big play there for the Coosa Eagles.
Yep, that was just a little student body left. And that's the second time we have seen Turner turn on the burners.
That's right.
And get to the outside. Noah Duggan able to pull him down at the 30-yard line, but this is the most action we've seen from the Coosa offense in the second half.
So the ball is at the 30-yard line. Coosa's got the ball in Tiger territory with 3 wide receivers and a first down. As we get ready for Warford to take the snap, fakes the handoff to East. He'll carry it himself, and he's brought down after a short gain of about 3 yards.
Warford on the keeper.
Yeah, and that was Trenton Moore on the tackle there.
2nd and 6.
Again, we got to get these rosters out. We got a lot of fresh faces.
Murphy tied at 20 at the end of the third.
You just say Chattooga and Almerchi tied at 20.
Yeah, going into the fourth quarter, so we're going to have to tune in to the scoreboard show on the way home, see how this all shakes out.
Ball at the 26-yard line. Coosa with it, 2nd and 6. There's the snap. Warford's going to hand it off to East. Gets a good block. He's up the middle, and he's going to be hauled in, but he was already in the end zone. So that's going to be some points for Coosa. They will score in this ball game.
Yeah, Harrison East has played his tail off tonight and busts one up the middle for about a 28-yard touchdown there, taking a few Darlington defenders into the end zone, and the shutout is off the board with 8:23 left in the fourth quarter.
Now the extra point attempt coming up for Chester Reyes, the junior kicker here for the Coosa Eagles, after a big touchdown run there, again for Harrison East. Here's the snap. Hold looks pretty good. Kick is on the way, and that was going to be through the uprights. The score moves to 42-7.
Right down the pipes. Coosa gets on the board, 42-7.
So they will kick it back to the Darlington Tigers, and perhaps we'll see the Tigers run the football a pretty good bit here on this next drive and try to grind out as much of this clock as they possibly can.
I imagine so. Looking ahead, though, Matt, we just heard that Chattooga and Armuchee are tied 20-20. The Chattooga Indians are next on the schedule for the Tigers. And what do you expect out of that game next Friday?
You know, I hadn't had a chance to lay eyeballs on the Chattooga Indians. They always are going to have some athletic kids, some guys with some speed that you're going to have to deal with. They've kind of had a tough season so far this season, had a tough year last year. So I think if the Darlingtons play sound fundamental football, kind of come up with some of the explosive plays that we've seen them have throughout the season, they should be able to take care of that matchup. But, you know, just like Coach always talks about, you can't take any weeks off. Any week, especially once you get into region play. So they're going to have to get out there and put a good effort into the game, and I think they will. They'll play with an edge, and I like their chances.
And you've got to think with Pepperell on the road the next week, they can't get caught looking ahead. Because the Dragons are kind of the mystery team in this region to me. They've started to play better football, and they could make some noise, you know. I mean, they want to know. They started with a win over Chattooga last week.
Reyes trots the ball, puts the boot on it, end over end, and that's going to bounce off of Talon Shirey. Keeps it in front of him, though, picks it up, is going to bring it out, and he's on the run. He's out across the 40 already. It's a foot race, folks. He's now a nice stiff arm across the 20, the 15, 10, 5, and he's into the end zone. Goodness. Oh, my goodness. What a return from Talon Shirey. And where did he pick up that ball so we can give you the yardage on that?
No flags. I'll check it on the replay, but I think it was between the 15 and 20-yard line. And just when you think the fireworks are over, oh, wait, it was way further back than that, Matt.
Yep.
He fielded that at his foot was on the 5-yard line. No, after he scooped it up, 6-yard line. So a 86-yard return, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, you were right the first time.
I was right the first time. God,
94.
Wow. Yeah.
We've been having to keep up with a lot tonight, folks. 94-yard return there for Talon Shirey.
Basic math's a little too much.
Yeah, it is for me always. Here comes the kick, and that is going to be off the foot of a different player this time. That was Tochukwu Obioha, and he knocks one through there for an extra point. So the Tigers have been perfect on extra points tonight.
Yeah, they have.
The two kickers.
That's 7 for 7.
So we
on the PATs.
We decided 94 yards, right?
Yes, 94 yards.
Kick return.
So Talon Shirey had not scored tonight, and he said, you know what? Enough of this. He did have a punt return that he housed that was brought back for a block in the back.
Well, I'm officially out of room on my drive sheets.
Me too.
Yep.
I'm just piecing it together at this point.
7:35 left to go in the game. We still may see a few more possessions, so I guess I'll just flip it over, and I don't have a ruler. I draw some lines or something.
Make the most of it. Improvise.
It's the name of the game, isn't it?
It is.
Well, thanks for tuning in to WLAQ or watching on the Darlington YouTube stream tonight. Coverage of Darlington football. We always appreciate you being with us. Hope you enjoy the broadcast, whether you watch the video or listen on the radio. It's always a pleasure for us to bring the games to you. And it's always a pleasure to work with the folks from Northwest Georgia Media. Some great people, and they've become really good friends. Here comes the kick. Obioha, and that was going to drop at about the inside the 20-yard line. It'll be brought out by the Coosa Eagles. They'll go up the middle of the field. Aiden Davis was there. A couple other Tigers. What was that? 19.
He gets the ball up.
Stuart Grigsby.
Yep. Yeah. Makes a nice stop there on the kickoff.
And we have moved to a running clock for the remainder of the game.
7:04 left to go in this one. Tigers lead at 49-7. Band cranking up again. Always so much fun for these games. So the Coosa Eagles come back to the line of scrimmage here. They're going to send 2 wide receivers to the near side and 1 on the far side. Warford is going to line up under center here for this play in 1st and 10. He's going to throw a pass hard over to the near side, connects with his receiver. And that was Levanye Millsap, rather.
I don't have a name on my roster for 53.
Let me see if I do.
But he did make
Gus
the
Twingy.
Okay. Okay.
Twingy.
It was Twingy and Jace Donaldson on the tackle there for the Tigers.
So they advanced the ball about 2 yards down to the 34-yard line, or not the 34, rather, the 29-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 on the near. Warford under center. He takes the snap, pitches it. They come to the near side with it, and out of bounds goes Turner after a positive gain. See where they mark him.
Turner on the carry.
It's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down, maybe 3. 5:37 left to go here in this ball game with Darlington leading at 49-7.
About 2.
Ball's at the 35.
Is it safety night? I mean, I'm wondering what's going on
I'm
with
not
the hard
sure.
hats and the safety vests.
2 wide receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. This time they'll line up in the pistol, going to hand it off and run the ball. They give it back to Turner. He's across the 40 down to the 42, gets a first down.
Yeah, Turner has got a little bounce in his step, man.
Turner
Once he gets going, he's tough to take down. Shifty runner.
He's a junior this year, so they'll have another year of him coming up next year. Good little ball player.
And it is fair to point out here, the Coosa started the season 3-1, one of the best starts they've had that I can remember. Region play's just gotten off to a little bit of a shaky start.
They're going to send 2 wide receivers to the far side and 1 on the near for this play. They'll turn. Nope. Quarterback's going to run the football, and he gets out to the edge, finds some room to run. He's off to the races. He's now about the 30-yard line before they're able to haul him in and make a stop. But a good run there by the quarterback, Warford. Another first down.
I'm trying to see who made the tackle over there. Cannot say. I think that was Jace Donaldson. I can't see the number, though.
We're going to get another look at it here on the screen here in just a couple of moments.
Yeah,
you're right. But
there was a penalty.
Back. So the clock stops.
For a penalty? Okay.
4:21 left to go here in the ball game, and they'll march the penalty yards off back to the 40-yard line. Now the clock's moving.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. Brings up 1st and 12 now for Coosa.
Yeah.
So 1st and 12.
Going to get home, watch some college football tonight?
I'm going to try to watch a little bit of it, man. I need to get a night's sleep tonight. I'm going to get up and get my run in tomorrow, and I think I might go down to the varsity, and then after that, get on 75 and shoot over to Buc-ee's, and then come home and watch football with a bunch of snacks. There's a snap. They're going to fake the handoff. Quarterback's going to run. Nearly got bit by the turf monster. Manages to stay on his feet and get about 6 yards.
So
maybe 8.
Let me get this right. You're going to drive to Atlanta.
Yeah. Kennesaw.
Kennesaw. Yeah. Okay, you're going to the Kennesaw varsity.
Yeah.
But the trip's just to go to the varsity.
Yep.
And then you're going to drive past the Cartersville exit to go up to Buc-ee's to grab your snacks for your football game.
That is a 100% accurate portrayal of what's going to happen tomorrow.
Matt Davis loves Buc-ee's.
Yep.
Let's just let it, if that hasn't been cemented into your brain.
2 wide receivers on the far side, 1 on the near, and dropping back is going to be Warford, going to put some air underneath this one, and it's going to sail over everybody's head. That's incomplete.
And Darlington's guys are getting, like I said, some valuable reps here. You can try to simulate it in practice, but there's nothing like getting them out there in the game.
But my mom's going to ride down there with me, and we may go to a sporting goods shop or something like that. She's really into watching Notre Dame big time this season. Needs to get some new gear.
Go Duke.
2 wide on the far side, 1 on the near. 3rd down and 4. Ball at the 48. Coosa's going to pitch. They come to the near side with Turner. He's across midfield, and he'll be hauled in at about the 45-yard line. So that should be another first down for the Coosa Eagles.
It is indeed. Turner continues to impress here in the second half.
He picks up the first down.
We'll have the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game coming up after tonight's action. And then after that, we're going to turn it over to Lynn and Austin, and I believe Clay tonight, for the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show. Our football coverage is not done after this game. Quarterback's under center. Warford's got it. He is going to turn, fakes the handoff, going to run the football, find some room. He's up across to about the 30, takes a heavy hit. My goodness.
That was 29 on the tackle, Matt, if you've got your roster handy.
Timothy Anthony Sawyer.
Nice tackle there. And I tell you what, when Warford pulls the ball, he's fooling me. I keep thinking he's giving, and then he pulls it. He's really good at disguising that, and has found some running room here in the 4th quarter on a couple of occasions.
Nationals are up 10-6 over the Braves in the top of the 7th, so a lot of runs scored in that one. 2 wide receivers near side, 1 on the far. Warford under center here for 1st and 10 from the Darlington 30-yard line. They're going to run the football, and it takes a pile to do it, but they drag them to the ground after a short game.
And we are winding down towards the end of this ball game, Matt. The Darlington Tigers are going to move to 2-0 in Region 7A Division I. They are the defending champions of that region.
That's right. My mom sent a text message wanting me to tell you, go Irish. She's going to rub it in tomorrow if Duke ends up losing that
You
game.
can't rub a win over Duke in.
I
Duke.
Snap. There's the throw towards the end zone, and it's batted away by Jace Donaldson. Nice play.
Yeah, great play there by Donaldson.
Pass falls incomplete, intended for Lavanye Millsap.
I mean, you see what happened to Clemson. They lost to Duke, and they pushed their game against FSU to noon. That's what happens. So Notre Dame better not lose to Duke. NBC might drop them. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. For life. 24 seconds left on the clock in this one. Darlington leads it 49-7, and the Eagles will come back to the line of scrimmage here for 3rd down and 7 from the 28-yard line. There's the snap. Warford drops back. He is going to run the football. He cuts out to the far side. Flag comes in. He's going to be inside to about the 15 with a hold.
Warford on the keeper.
And that's going to be the end of the ball game. That's it, folks. Darlington Tigers win it. 49-7 is your final score. They now move the season record to 4-2, and more importantly, they are 2-0 in region play. That's an excellent way to start the region.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. 2 wins in a row in region play, and they go on to the next week, still sitting firmly in control of their own destiny.
All right, Ian, we're going to take a break. We come back. It'll be time for the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game here on WLAQ. So let's step out for 3 minutes. We'll come back with that, and then we'll bid you adieu and send it to the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show. We'll take a break. Brief post-game coming up.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
Here, I'm becoming who I want to be.
Here, I am looking toward my future.
Here, we learn from our failures so that we may soon succeed.
Here, we're passionate about learning and trying new things every day.
Here, we search for new perspectives and cultures so we can better understand the world.
Because at Darlington, we know we're in the most trusted hands.
As we discover new passions and learn more about ourselves through academics,
athletics,
fine arts,
and service to our community, we show our versatility as we choose different pathways to our goals.
This is our home.
We embrace challenges and persevere, even when something seems impossible.
We collaborate and create to take our place in the world.
We know that together we can make an impact.
This is our moment, our time.
Graduates today, Darlington forever.
My name is Ryan Somerville. I am the sales manager for Business Water Solutions. We do water purification coolers as well as ice machines for any size business. We're on campus right now at Darlington School. Super happy to be here. They're one of our biggest customers. I myself played sports here. Our two founders played sports here. It was absolutely our pleasure to be a sponsor for Darlington Athletics. I think one thing that really sets us apart is our water purification. There's 13 stages. The reverse osmosis part of it has been a huge part of our success, along with our 24-hour guarantee for service calls. So when a customer does call us, we're guaranteed within 24 hours. We were able to provide a touchless water system to make it more COVID-friendly in terms of germs and touching the water system. One thing I always say is we're not selling a product, we're selling our service. That's what we really push for every single day, is to have a customer service experience like they've never had before.
Well, Ian, it was a great night for the Darlington Tigers. They were able to pick up a road win here over at Coosa. 49-7 was the final score. They took it off the scoreboard rather quickly, as you would have expected. I would have done the same thing, but the Tigers win it tonight here, and we will give away award the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game now.
Yeah, let's tip our caps to the Darlington defense. Coosa scored late, but they absolutely dominated tonight, forced 2 turnovers in the second half, and like I said, they got that touchdown late once the backups were in the game. But we have to pick the most outstanding individual for this award. And it was up in the air at halftime, but Demarion Floyd, he had 173 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. He also had a 35-yard catch, putting over 200 yards of total offense and 3 scores. So it made it hard to give it to anyone else. So Demarion Floyd will take home the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game award tonight.
Great game, D-Man. Congratulations to you, and great game to the Darlington Tigers. It was a great team effort. Saw a lot of big plays from a lot of different guys here, a lot of contributions. We caught a lot of names tonight, and, of course, obviously, once the game was in pocket, in the second half, we got to call a lot of new names and things of that sort throughout the broadcast there at the end, which is always good because you get live reps in a region game, a meaningful game. And that's something that comes in handy as you get a little bit further down the road, and you need some of those guys.
Heck yeah.
So, congratulations to the Darlington Tigers on picking up the win. Now, what's next? Well, the Darlington Tigers have moved their season record to 4-2, 2-0 in region play. They're going to host the Chattooga Indians coming up next week over at Chris Hunter Stadium. Meanwhile, the Coosa Eagles, they're going to hit the road to Sam R. McCain and take on the Tryon Bulldogs. Well, that's pretty much going to put a wrap on our broadcast tonight. Any final comments from you, Ian, as we get ready to wind things down?
2-0. Move on to the next one. You got to take them all seriously. You know, Coach Groves is preaching that to his boys tonight. And, coming off the emotional win last week, they came in focused. So impressed with how the Tigers handled themselves, and we'll see what they do next week back home at the Lakeside.
That's right. We just want to remind everybody that coming up on Wednesday, and this is every Wednesday throughout the season and through the playoffs, as long as the Tigers are playing, we will have the Coach Wayne Grove Show on WLAQ on our YouTube channel and also our Facebook Live. So if you haven't done so already, make sure to go to our YouTube channel and smash the subscribe subscribe button, then go to our Facebook page, follow us, like us, all that good stuff, so you can keep up with what's going on with our different programming related to high school football coverage and beyond. So we appreciate you, and we're going to wrap things up here from Branch Bragg Field here at Coosa High School, where the Darlington Tigers are the victor tonight. 49-7 is your final score, and that's going to put a wrap on it. For Lynn Butler back at the studio, for the whole video crew here tonight, including Dave and Mr. Brownlow, who are in the booth with us tonight, for Ian Griffin, I'm Matt Davis saying so long, everybody. Hope you have a great night, and go Tigers. Have a great weekend.